Let me get the microphone right next to me so y'all can hear me. How are y'all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh man, this welcome to the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. I am DL Saint, as you know. Thank y'all for coming through. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my camera. Doesn't seem to be right. There we go. That's much gooder. How y'all doing? Y'all know what it is. I'm checking out the show. Let me see what the audio sounds like. Make sure I'm not all hollow and stuff. You know, I'll be kind of upgrading around here, and let me just see what it sounds like. And I'm on here, and what's good? What's good, brother Jason? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Brother O's in the house. How y'all doing? And for whatever reason, oh, there it is. I was just checking the audios, man. Everything is good. Sounds good. Thanks, brother Jason. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. That's what I'm gonna do from now on. I'll just ask y'all what it sounds like, so I don't have to go fumbling with my phone and all that kind of nonsense. Got another mic, so I got two mics now. Pretty soon, hopefully real soon, I'll be bringing guests in to join me in the attic, talk to the crazy old man. You know what I mean? That's the plan. That's the plan. I hope y'all had a good holiday weekend. I hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day. Labor Day, right? Today is Labor Day. Hope you guys are enjoying your Labor Day. We got Brother Owen here all the way from South Africa, man. I'm glad you can make it. I'm so glad you're here. Brother Jason from Detroit, you know what I'm saying? Bro, we gotta schedule that follow-up show, man, on credit. I'm looking forward to that show. It's gonna be a good one. Miss AKA ladies in the house. Good afternoon, love. How you doing? You know what I mean? This is for you. Gotta show you some love. You know what I mean? Let's get the watch hours up. Yes, we got to get the watch hours up, y'all. That's what we're doing. I'm doing everything I can to make that happen, man. I'm going to get some interesting guests in here. Let's keep it 100. It's YouTube. I just got to get females on here. Let's keep it stacked. Right? Just got to get some females in here. But, yeah, we're going to be talking about the Manosphere, the red pill, all that kind of stuff today, man. Had a lot of people who watched the show we did on males versus men. And men versus males in America, and a lot of questions were asked of me. What's red pill? What is all this stuff? What's the manosphere? What are these terms? And I'm like, all right, we're gonna do a video on it. And y'all know I can't do these videos without my partner in crime, Jay Swan's in the house. What's good, brother?
So you just gonna keep hitting the button until so I can't say nothing. I told you it's Monsignor. It's Monsignor J now because I'm a religious man.
Oh, you're a man of God. You're taking up. Is that what it is? You've become a Templar like me, right? That's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna find ourselves a crusade. Is that what we're gonna do?
No doubt.
Man, look.
Do that. Why don't you keep it real? Look, I'm asking all these questions. I'm like, what the hell is red pill, black pill, orange pill, purple, banana pill?
Yeah, purple banana pill. You're right about that, bro. You're right about that, man.
I'd be the one asking them questions like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, and I'm just checking levels. Hey, brother Jason, what do our levels sound like? Do we sound matched up on the final mix? Because I can't hear the final mix. I'm playing with my board back here. What do the levels sound like for people in the chat? Because we're going to play some videos, and the videos are definitely going to be lower. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. We won't be talking too much during the video. Yeah, brother. Oh, you need females for everything, my brother. Even for my field, drawing of pretty girls get sales and attention. Absolutely, man. Sex sales. Women are beautiful. You know what I mean? He's in South Africa, man. I can't comment. I've never been to South Africa. To be honest with you, I've never been to South Africa. But I tell you what, man, women buy everything, and guys chase women. And that's what brings us to this topic right here, like the manosphere and what's going on with that and these different colored pills. Brother Jason say we still sound good. Thank you very much. So I'll leave my levels the way they are. Yeah, bro. Yeah, it was keeping it 100. It was Jay Swans. It was like, yo,
Yeah.
what the hell is this? And you weren't the only one either, bro. I've talked to quite a few people who just never heard of this. You know, for people in the world, this is what we do. Like in the sense that, like, I'm in the YouTube world and I'm out here going on these different platforms and listening to what people have to say. It makes sense to me, but it's still a very small percentage of folks out there who know about this content, who consume this content, who understand these terms. So this is by no stretch of the imagination is this mainstream.
Because I can tell you what I think it is. I think the red pill is just a bunch of dudes that couldn't get no girls or got did wrong by some girl, got frustrated, and, don't know how to handle themselves. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's part of it. That's definitely part of it. Like the Manosphere is made up of different groups of guys. That's definitely part of it. You know what I mean? And so like we'll get right to it, man. Let me pull up some screen shares and stuff like that, so we can see what is said about it, right? So, and here it is right here. I'll make it a little bigger.
Oh yeah, I looked at that before I got on. While I was in the pool, I was reading that.
Right.
Messed
like
up
Wikipedia,
my vibes, bro.
Yeah, like Wikipedia, like the Manosphere. The Manosphere is a collection of websites, blogs, and online forums promoting to a varying degree masculinity, misogyny, and the opposition to feminism. Communities within the Manosphere includes men's rights activists, incels, or activists, incels, which incel means voluntary and celibate. Men going their own way, that's MGTOW. You hear all these terms. Pickup artists, PUA, yep, that's another thing. And father rights groups, right? So, and then it goes on to talk about how the Manosphere overlaps with the far-right, alt-right communities. It also has been associated with online harassment and has been implicated in radicalizing men into misogynist beliefs and glorification of violence against women. Some sources have associated Manosphere-based radicalization with mass shootings motivated by misogyny. All right, so right off rip, you see what people are saying about this group of men out there and what they're trying to do. So just based on that right there, man, what are your thoughts?
I can see the misogyny part of it because people don't know how to separate literally from figuratively stuff. So they immediately hear something, want to jump all into it. Most of the stuff I've seen online, because I went ahead and just Googled it real quick. We've talked about this before. And I've told you some of the cats that you be fucking with, I can't fuck with because I think the shit is just silly, and a little bit misogynist, a little bit homophobic on top of all that. I can't really get behind that. So I mean, so like I said, it seems like a lot of dudes that are just, had a bad experience with a girlfriend and got frustrated and don't know how to recover from it. That's what it seems like to me. And if you look at a lot of stuff online, a lot of it is built up around. You gotta man up, yo. You gotta get this, like stuff we used to do in the locker rooms when I was like 16. Yeah. That's what it seems like. A lot of it is, man.
Yeah, and I can see that's a lot of that. Like when you say that there's made up there are guys out there who are looking for answers. Absolutely, there are guys out there who have been hurt. Absolutely, there are also guys out there who are good at this stuff and they're in there sharing the knowledge for a price.
I was gonna say they're trying to get paid off of it, off them same dudes.
Yeah, not trying. They are getting paid.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I mean? And the guys who are buying this content aren't upset. There are guys out there who are finding success with pickup artistry, which is like okay. They're finding success with like the current mainstream message, which is to become the best version of yourself, build yourself up, get your money up, get your become fit. You know what I mean? Become socially astute. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff, like money, game, and frame. Your guys are buying into that literally and figuratively, and they're finding success with that, right? And then you have the guys like the MGTOW guys. The MGTOW thing is men going their own way. That's the acronym is MGTOW. These are dudes who are just like, I don't want to deal with it. I guess their mantra
those are dudes who just gave up and said, I'm just going to get myself a nice warm sock and let that be the end of it.
Let that be the end of it. Maybe raise some goats. I don't know what they're doing, but the thing is, like, we can make light of it, but these are the guys who are like, their motto seems to be the juice just isn't worth the squeeze. Shout out to Rich Cooper. They're like, it's just.
that we talked about earlier, that just sounds like, look, I'm just gonna call that group the failures, like the quitters. That's what it is, the quitters. Just call it the quitters.
Yeah, those are the guys that's like, man,
the juice ain't worth the squeeze, brother. They ain't never really squeezed the juice, I tell you.
Well, and again, and then within that community is broken down from there are guys who are good at this and there are guys who are bad at this. And
if y'all are there, wait, the juice is definitely worth the squeeze. Trust me.
For the guy who could get it. Like there are dudes out there who just suffer. And that's where all the pills come from. So we hear the term red pill, black pill, blue pill. That's where these different groups, so you have the manosphere, and within the manosphere you have factions of guys, right? Within the manosphere. So
how do they have names for it? Like, how do they have names for? I can't get no girl. I'm gonna call it. Oh, that's right, the Matrix stuff. You done told me about that. My bad.
Yeah, that's the reference. So when the Manosphere looks at this sort of thing, and they talk about the way things are on the ground, like they talk about dating strategies. They're talking about how the world works. The Western world mostly is what they're talking about, and they're saying like the blue pill mentality is women are sugar and spice and everything nice, and the red pill mentality is no. This is a fight. This is this is a game. You need to learn how to play the game if you want to win the game. You need to understand female. You need to understand female nature. Females need to understand male nature. This all goes back and forth. Miss Globe Girls is in the house. Hold on one second. Miss Globe Girls in the house. What's good, Miss Globe Girls? My favorite sailor. My favorite sailor's in the house. What's good? And then Miss AKA lady wants to know how many pills there are. I don't know. I think you can make up as many as you want. I'm gonna stick to the 3. There's red, blue, and black, and then there's all variants from there.
Yo, don't forget the banana pill, dog.
It's all that, bro. Throw as many as you want to throw in there. You know what I mean?
Yo, so okay, so Western world. I mean, like, are you just talking about America? Are you talking about like
Europe? first world developed nation? Talking about the U.S., talking about Australia, New Zealand, the UK.
So you mean like every country that's like developed are the ones that are messed up? Is that what the red pill teaches?
No, the red pill says that the developed nations is where feminism is strongest, and that's where men are having the most problems.
Hold on.
That's their dude. And again, this is me gathering the information. I am reporting what I have found. You feel me? So don't get too into the woods on this. I can't. I'm no expert.
Well, I'm just saying because I'm like you saying like every country that is developed, the women are an issue.
They're saying the places where feminism is strong, and that tends to be the more westernized, developed nations.
The countries that are developed.
Well,
yes.
Brazil is developed. You know what I mean? Japan is
Brazil's third world, bro.
All right. But it's developed. Like, you look at Japan is developed. South Korea is developed, right? You look at places
red pill's not Japan and South Korea?
No, women don't really buy into feminism that much over there. No. You look at places like Eastern Europe developed. Women are really into their feminine. They don't really buy into to feminism as much. Right?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So no, it's not like that. You look at India, you look at Pakistan, you know what I mean? You look at different places, the Middle East, feminism is not strong over there at all. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of the Middle East at all. When I was over there, I did not like the way the women were treated, but that's not my country. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I just did what I had to do and I got the hell out. You know what I mean? Mission was over. I couldn't wait to go.
Okay, yeah, because I was being serious about that because I'm like, I'm confused. You know what I mean? So, okay, so I got that now. So that's just what they talk. Okay. Well, I can tell you one thing. Look, if you're walking around talking about making, using quotes from the Matrix to describe, dating in America and such, you've already failed as far as dating women, bro.
I can give you that. You know what I mean? But it's not. I'm not going in here trying to make light of these dudes. This is their world, right? This is the world that they have created. They want to use whatever terms they want to use. That's fine. When you look at terms like nagging and red pill and all this, hey man, that's their world, bro. That's fine. If that's how y'all want to describe it, okay. I'm not tripping. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But as far as that goes,
you got a sound for like what it sounds like when somebody gets shoved in a locker. You got a sound for that.
I do, man.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're some real pretty shit now, man.
You finished?
Game over, man. I was short, man. Now what are you supposed to do?
Yo.
Hey, I got a button for that shit, bro. That's for the MGTOW guys. Like, man, fuck this, man. I'm moving on, man. Game over, man. All right, cool. Go ahead. But I get where they coming from, bro. Like it's like most people, especially in these more developed countries, right? Life is supposed to be easy. That's one of the biggest fucking lies out there, man. Life is fucking hard.
I was gonna say,
if you're trying to be
from?
successful, that's what people, most Americans, everybody gets a trophy, timeout, all that bullshit. Y'all know I rail on that all the time. Life is fucking hard. You know what I mean?
Being an adult is hard, man. That shit sucks.
This shit, right. There are losers. There are losers and there are winners. And we're telling these kids nowadays, and these are these were the kids, the timeout generation, I think is where it started. These are the kids now that grown up or whatever, and they're like, fuck, man, I'm a loser. Mommy told me I would have a baddie. Mommy told me I would have a dime. She would love me forever and ever and ever. We'll ride off into the sunset just like in the fucking movies. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? So people are like, shit, they're trying to figure it out. And now the manosphere is a thing. People are like, nah, bro, that's not how this shit works.
See, mommy and daddy told me I was going to get a baddie too, but they also, told me like, how to act like a gentleman so that I could get one. How to be a man so I could get one.
Mommy and daddy did not tell you were going to get a fucking baddie. Quit it.
I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
I know your mommy and daddy. I know your mommy and daddy. Quit talking all this shit, bro. They didn't say that.
I know one thing, though. There were certain things that were not acceptable. So I would bring girls around, and it was rough. We know this, especially.
That's true. That's true. So most of them chicks didn't come around. They went somewhere else. They did their thing. You sent, okay, run along now. Run along now.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So, bro,
you remember having a little shorty called up to Jersey that time?
Yeah, I don't know why she did that, but that was on you, bro. I was shaking my head like, ooh, that was
I was shaking my head trying to act like I didn't know her.
I was sitting there trying to figure. I was like, I don't know what that was. I don't know what that. I'm about to go take the trash out.
That, boy.
I think my mama calling me. Boy, you live in Ohio? She got she got a loud mouth. I think I hear my mama.
I was trying to catch up. I was trying to go with you. That was an uncomfortable feeling. Hey, don't bring no 304s. Don't bring no 314s home, boy.
Man, it's for real. What we gonna do now? That's exactly what that shit was, bro.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do?
That's exactly how I felt too. Like, why'd you give her the number, bro? That's the first thing I asked you. Why'd you give her the number? Anyway, you got me off track. Let's get back on this. Brother Jason, understanding of female nature in the sexual marketplace, and that's what the Manosphere is trying to do. And I agree with him there. Red, blue, black, white, purple, banana, gray, fucking rainbow. They got all kind of goddamn pills out there, man. You know what I mean? And like it is what it is, man, brother. Oh, I've also never heard of white. Yeah, I never heard of any of this shit until recently. You know what I mean? When I went down the rabbit hole. White pill is just going with hope and just hoping everything will be okay. That's Brother Jason. He seems to be more of an expert than me in all this. You can insult most of the pills without pushback, except the MGTOW. Them brothers don't play.
Those are the ones I would get the most, though. I would get on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the MGTOW guys, like I said, they're frustrated and they move on. And, it is what it is. Miss AKA lady.
So when you say they move on, though, let me just make sure I understand. So when you say they move on, like they don't move on to like the next girl. They just move on like, I'm just not going to mess with girls no more, period?
Them the dudes, like, I'm going to be off the grid. I'm not messing with women. The way I look at MGTOW is this. These guys will not devote a single ounce of effort into getting a woman. If that woman wants to mess with her, cool. He's not going to push her away, but he is not even going to look at her. That's the dude that's like, man, I'm not trying to deal with this now. And they just rock that. Now, if it's anybody out here listening to this, and if you're MGTOW, either say something now or put something in the comments below. I'm mischaracterizing.
Hey, if anybody here is not MGTOW, don't touch your keyboard till you wash your hands, you nasty motherfucker.
So I mean, I think that I would say the MGTOW guys. The reason I'm not laughing is this: these dudes off themselves all the time. This is the reason I'm not laughing, because I've been dealing with this world a little bit. These dudes, like these are the dudes. Those are the dudes. You feel me? And this is a code.
Like, tell them dudes to go outside.
It don't work that way, bro. If you fucking 5'6", you know what I mean, and
my man is 5'6". He be out there getting them.
That's your man. I know one too. Right? That's two of us. Then those two guys.
Yeah.
But the majority. I keep trying to tell you, bro. That's not the norm. That's not the norm. It's not. And you got to have a certain intestinal fortitude to get through that shit. All I'm saying, I'm not saying it's right. I don't think these dudes should be doing that shit to themselves. I'm like you. Get out there. You know what I mean? Or at least pay somebody then. Pay somebody.
Just because somebody, short don't mean they ain't out there getting it. I mean, come on, man. If they offer themselves over that, then they on some other stuff though. They got some other issues they need to work out.
Okay, yes they do, but that is what they're doing because they can't get the 9 or the 10. Why? And again, what is the bull back to? Mommy said I can get a dime. Now I can't get a dime because I'm supposed to accept me for me. You're supposed to accept me for me.
Yeah, because mommy said you got to get out the basement. You know what I mean? You can't sit in mommy's
mommy
basement.
Never said that.
Ain't no dimes coming to mommy's basement.
Mommy never said that. Mommy didn't say get yourself together. Mommy didn't say work on your game, work on your frame, work on your money. Mommy didn't say that. Mommy said you are great as you are, little Jimmy. So you can sit your fat ass down there in the basement and be socially awkward and play your fucking video games all day, and the dime is just gonna miracle her ass right next to you. That's not how the fucking world works.
I know,
right?
I know that's an extreme, but I mean, it just sounds funny to even hear it though.
Right. Dude, when I first saw you don't think I've talked to these people and I just look at them like, damn. And
it's like I'm hungry. The fridge is right there.
No, I'm just gonna open my mouth and the food is gonna jump in my fucking mouth. No, that is a problem, bro. Like to me, when I look at this manosphere stuff, it's a reflection of how lazy and entitled our society has become. The fact that we can't even maintain current levels in the military because everybody's too fat or too dumb to enlist.
For real.
You know what I mean? So this is all part of a bigger thing. But we're just gonna talk about this manosphere shit right now. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like you see it all the time. You know what I mean? Like I see dudes will come up I see them. They come up with their books. These dudes will come up they'll come up with a copy of the Rational Mail, right?
You told me that, bro.
They will come out with a copy of the Rational Mail. They'll have this thing is all worn. They'll have different color highlighted pages and stuff like that. And if they see Rollo Tomasi, they'll go up to Rollo, tears in their eyes, right? Tears in their eyes saying, this book saved my life, bro. And it blew me away. I'm like, damn, it's not that it was a one-off, man. It ain't just happened one time. You see it all the time.
I don't even know I've never even read that. I've never even heard of it until you said something about it today.
I never heard about it until went down this rabbit hole, bro. And I'm trying to. The book reads like a technical manual, bro.
How to get girls?
No, not just how to get girls, but how it works. The entire thing. Female dating strategy, male dating strategy, the entire thing. Right? Because a lot of guys get mad. Well, the world don't seem to care about me. They don't. They don't give a shit about you. But if mommy and daddy told you that you are so important, you are, you know what I mean? I is pretty, I is smart. You went through that shit and you bought in, and then they turn you loose on the world's gonna eat your ass up.
I'm sitting there like, maybe, I'm just saying, maybe that's a little Darwinism type stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we just don't need them cats to reproduce. You know what I'm saying?
And here's the thing, and they're not reproducing. You know what I mean? That's just the bottom. You don't even have to. That is how it has been.
Well, right? Now see, the single J would be like, great, that's more for me. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what the top tier guys are saying, like, great, because women want, again, hypergamy. Women want to get the absolute best. They're overlooking these dudes, and the dudes are getting overlooked. They're doing this kind of stuff, and they're running to the manosphere. So, let's see, Miss AKA Lady. I'm definitely white pill then. LOH. Okay, that's just them going back and forth. Brother Roz is in the house, man. Brother Roz, what's good, man? Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Miss Globe Girl. I'm all for men wanting to build a brotherhood and be progressive, but any narrative that is negative and denigrative towards women is a whole, as a whole, is pathetic. Yeah,
I agree with her 100%.
I do too. Now here's the thing: when we talk about the manosphere, it's made up of all these different type dudes. So you got dudes in here, like, again, the 3 pills that I talk about, that I see out there, is the red pill, the blue pill, and the black pill. We got a video about that we're gonna load up here in a second, right? And this is from a content creator who calls himself a black pill guy. His content is black pill, and black pill is like pretty much the extreme. So this particular video explains, it talks about the different pills. this video right here. We're gonna watch this real quick, but I want to get through the chats real quick. Brother O, that's like walking up to a hungry lion and hoping that it won't eat you. I'm really against hope strategies. Too many variables and no control over the outcomes you get. Absolutely. And thank y'all so much for rocking with me, man, and all the engagement in the chat, man. That's what's going on.
Yo, go back. I'm trying to read the other one.
That's back and forth. Let's miss AKA brother. Oh, going back and forth. Yeah, and brother Jason. Yeah, like brother Jason's like, hope is the biggest sin. It can be.
Nah, brother. Nah.
It depends on how you. It depends on how you hope on that. Like, bro, if we sat around and just hope we're gonna earn some wings, will we be airborne?
I was gonna say you hope for the best, but you prepare for the worst.
And you get out and you do the work. Yeah, you feel me? You do the work, and that's another shout out to Rich Cooper. And we got his book, Rich Cooper.
He says hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
No, he says do the work.
What's that? Look, hope for the best, man. You know, just prepare yourself for the worst. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're gonna shoot your shot, you know, and hopefully it works out, but you know, it might not. You know, I'm just prepared to handle that. That's
all right, and like I said, doing the work. Do the work means actually go out there and fucking do the work. You're saying hope for the best and prepare for the worst. So that means you just sit there and you fucking hope?
No, I mean, you go up there and you talk. I hope this works out. But if not, I'm not going to off myself if it don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So right there, you say you go out there and you talk. You do the work. I'm thinking you talking about, you got that basic, shit you bro. Spitting. What is that build your frame and no, but that's part. I mean, they have all these different terms, but that is it. You do the work. That's in Rich Cooper. That's all he preaches. You do the work. He'll tell you, like, women ain't gonna build with you, they ain't gonna grow with you. Generally speaking, women wait. One of his things is women wait at the finish line and they pick the best. They pick the winners. They wait at the finish line and they.
The chick that he be dealing with does that. I don't know any women that be sitting at the finish line waiting to see who comes out.
I know a ton. And I know a ton. Again, that's because we come from such different backgrounds. I know a ton of women who sit at the finish line and they wait to smash the winners. I do. I also know some women who were invested in guys early on. They took a chance on these guys when these guys were young and really hadn't, made their dent in the universe yet. They did that with you. It paid off, right? But I know a lot of women that did that shit and it didn't pay off. You know what I mean? So again, there's a lot. If you sit there,
it's like you're giving energy to these dudes. I'm like, look, man, like, I find it hard to believe that most women sit around going, okay, I'll just watch these dudes here. And when they finish up, that's who I'm gonna jump on right there. You know what I mean? I'm just, even the young girls that I know, the neighbors' kids and such that are going to college and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, they're not sitting around like, I'm gonna wait to see who comes out on top and then I'm gonna do something. I mean, that's really painting women in a negative light. That really is, man. That's making women seem like they're all shallow and they're not. You know what I mean? If you go places to find shallow women, you're gonna get what you're looking for.
I would argue that men are shallow. People are shallow. Men are shallow, women are shallow. There's nothing wrong with that dating strategy. I am not, again, if you believe in hypergamy, that is what hypergamy is.
Sitting around and waiting for someone to come out on top, then that's what you're gonna go for.
Let me get to do it on top. You know what I mean? That's what hypergamy is. Now, am I saying that is the strategy of all women? No. I bet you Miss Globe Girl, Miss AKA Lady would disagree with me on if I were to make that statement that all women are like that. No, Miss AKA Lady on this platform says many times, I don't mind, working with a guy. I don't mind paying for a guy sometimes. I don't mind helping build this man up. She said that multiple times. I could build him up and, I'm going to help him out. And I'm always like, nah, don't build him up. Let him do the work on his own. You know what I'm saying? He needs to want to do that. He shouldn't be doing that because you're coaching him up. Like, you're not his mom. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful with that. But again, I'm not saying it's negative. But if I believe in hypergamy, which I do, right, I'm not mad at that strategy. Like, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to watch. I want the biggest, the strongest, the most successful guy. I'm not mad at that. When girls go to college, they're not trying to smash the geek dudes. They're going after the studs. Why wouldn't
they? They're going after the dudes that they want. Just like the guys going after the girls that they want.
The guys,
that's natural.
Well, here's the thing: the guys who know what they're doing and have game are going after the girls that they want. The regular dudes are going after what they can get. They're hunting that low hanging fruit because they think, like, what do we say about dudes? What do dudes hunt?
Man, guys are hunting whatever they can get their hands on. Dudes ain't. There's a struggle. I'm not going to talk to this girl. Look, if a dude is in the mood for something and some woman's going to give it to him, he going to go get it. I mean, come on, let's be real about
Right,
that.
but that dude is not going to be able to talk to that guy, right? And we can name names. We ain't going to name names of guys that we serve with. There are dudes out there that will smash whatever's laying around, right? And then there are guys who were picky. Like, all right, we'll smash something or whatever. We'll knock something off, but we're going after what we really want. We might smash some stuff along the way, but we're shooting for much higher, right? And that is a very small percentage of dudes who have that skill set. And that is what the core group of the Manosphere is trying to say in various forms.
So is this Manosphere thing, are they saying like it's all about how a woman looks, or are there other factors to play into it? Because I keep hearing baddies and tens and all this other stuff.
It depends on who you're talking to. Keep in mind, the guys who come into that Manosphere looking, you got this dude who's some little bitty guy who's fat, who ain't making any money. Like the average dude is what, 5'8", 5'9", making like what, $55,000 a year, living in his mom's house. That's like the average dude, right? That guy comes in there talking about, I want a baddie. Yo, bro, if you want a baddie, you got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of work. You can get you a 9 or a 10. But you got to build yourself up. You're going to have to be the best version of yourself. You're going to have to make a dent in the universe. You're going to have to make a lot of money. Now, when you get there, if you still want this dime, don't be mad if she comes and just uses you for your money. Like, I want the security from you because you have money and you can provide me with things or a lifestyle or whatever, but I'm still going to go over here and smash Jay Swans because Jay Swans is a fucking stud, right? They talk about that kind of stuff, and that's Rollo Tomas. He talks about alpha need, and then, well, he says alpha fucks, beta bucks. That's the term he uses. He's like, a woman's going to go after a guy that she's just completely into. She wants to smash this dude. She wants to have this guy's kids, but he might not be that. He might leave me. I got this baby, and I'm gonna go get this little beta dude over here who's going to love me and help me take care of this baby and provide me with and stuff like that. This is what they're talking about. Do I agree with that wholeheartedly? No. But I see what they're talking about.
I guess my definition of what I consider what makes a woman a 10 is, I guess maybe I'm just an outlier. I guess, like, you talk about the outlier because I mean it's so different to me, and I know a lot of bad chicks that are just horrible people, so they go from a 10 to a 4 real quick.
Yeah, all day long, and I get you. And like I said, we come from the walk of life where we've been gunning after the women we want as long as we've been young men. As long as our fucking our joysticks were working, we were out there smashing what we wanted to smash.
But even you and I, our definition of what we want in women is different. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, your definition of 10 is way different than mine.
Way different. But
yeah,
the fact still remains. We weren't out there just taking what was there, smashing what we could. We were out there getting what we wanted. Right? That's not the regular thing for men. That's not average for men. Right? That's really not. And Jules.
I mean, really, I'm sitting there. I mean, honest about it. I'm like this. Why would you go after a woman you really don't want? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. But
because they have zero sexual access, right? That goes into the incel thing, right? Involuntarily celibate, right? You look at that. It's something like, God, man, it's like the average dude from, I forget the exact stat. I should have pulled it up, but the average dude from 18 to 38 is not even having sex, bro. Like that, they barely get. I can't remember the exact stat. Somebody help me out in the chat. But women just don't see them. They just don't. So they're involuntarily celibate. They want to, but what's the problem? They're not socially calibrated. They're probably out of shape. They have bad hygiene. They don't have enough courage to walk up, like you say, just go talk to women.
Wait,
that's simple for you.
What percentage were you saying again? Because I'm trying to work this out in my head. What percentage you say again?
I don't want to give you. I got to look.
Oh, okay. Never. No, don't worry. I thought you said it was a percentage. Never mind. Don't worry.
I couldn't remember the stat, but it's something like it's something along the line, bro. It's like 80% of men between 18 and 38 have
Get the fuck out of here, man.
No,
come
seriously.
on. You telling me that 80? So basically, 8 out of 10 do. So if y'all work with 10 men, all right, you telling me 8 out of 10 of them dudes ain't getting no access to women?
They're not getting regular sexual access according to the study. And I think this was damn, what was under the Guardian or something like that. And again, let me get the exact stat and send it to you. I don't have it. I didn't have it here, and that's on me for not properly.
No, don't worry about that. I mean, I'm just sitting there. I can't, man. You talking like the cats we work with in the tower.
We don't work with we don't work with bottom 80 dudes though.
Yeah, we do.
Who? With the air traffic controls we work with in the tower. The guys I work
yes.
The guys I work with at the facilities I worked at, yes, I would say that 75% of those dudes weren't getting on. And I'm talking about the big facilities, man. I'm talking about the Miami Traycon. I'm talking about SoCal Traycon. I'm saying the majority of those at Van Nuys, when I worked at Van Nuys, the majority of those guys were married. And of the single dudes, I would say, like, we're talking, like, consistent. And the stat was saying in the past year they would have maybe one sexual partner or none. And you also got to look at the fact that when you look at dudes who are like 18 to 22, the majority of those guys are virgins. Now, whereas you're looking at women the same age cohort, they're not virgins. So the women are smashing. Who are they smashing? The top percentile.
So, all right. So like 8 out of 10 of these dudes not getting none, right? And or they have like one sexual. Well, what about the cats that are in a relationship? So one sexual partner per, for a year. If you're in a relationship for that long, I mean,
we're not talking about the guys who are in relationships, man. We're talking about like the guys. Most guys aren't in relationships, and those guys aren't getting any sexual access.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
These are the numbers that they go. And here's the thing: if these numbers were off, why would they have so many people in this manosphere, bro? Who's buying all these books? Who's buying all these courses? Who's learning how to be pickup artists? No, that's a lot of money in that. Why is the first? Go ahead.
How do you know it's not a small number of dudes spending a whole lot of money? You know what I mean? Like it could be a small number of dudes spending a lot of money, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm just having a hard time. Like
I would say that
if you get 2 out of 10 dudes all over this country, you know what I mean? You're looking at $1 billion industry. If you can get 2 out of 10 guys to be in this type of situation, you're looking at a lot of money.
Well, it's a multi-billion dollar industry because you look at what Kevin Samuels was doing. You look at what Fresh and Fit is doing every night. You know, they'll go in there with only on the shows when they have girls on, not their daytime shows when they're talking about building your credit and working out and all this shit. Only the shows with the girls on there. They'll have 10, 12, 15,000 people on the live. You look at Andrew Tate goes over to Rumble or whatever, 130,000 plus people on the live. That's a lot of people, bro. That is a lot of people. For such a small, and again, this red pill community, like this part of the internet is so small.
Well, I was gonna say, you got 5 billion people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? If you get 50 million people, you ain't scratched the surface. So come on. Like 8 out of 10, bro. I cannot get behind that shit at all, man. I have a hard time with that shit.
I know when I go out, right, and you go out and you hang out and you see, like, if you go into a strip club, right, full of dudes. You look at the porn industry, tons of money in the porn industry.
But you got married dudes and everybody else. I mean, everybody, you can't use those, man. And I'm seeing dudes thing, but like, I'm not like overlooking them. I'm just like, okay, like maybe, okay, when I think of beta male, okay, look, I know there's some soft ass dudes out there. You know, we know a couple. We know a couple of soft.
Boy, you have no idea how many soft ass motherfuckers out there now, bro. The numbers are growing. The numbers are way growing.
But even them soft ass dudes is getting some. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, they getting some. I mean, come on.
Not according to these numbers, man, and not according to the dudes that I'm seeing when I go out here.
Wait, hold on. 3 or 4 men are without sex for a year or virgins?
Brother Doug's in the house. Hold on. Brother Doug's in the house. What's good, man? Good to see you. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. I can't read all it. I can't read it. I can't read the chat because this is a really good conversation, and I don't.
Yeah, I'm just having a hard time with it.
I don't want to stop, so I'm just going to show the chats, guys. I can't. I'm not reading the chats. If anybody has those stats that we're looking for, to back up the 3 out of 4 dudes or virgins or not having sex and stuff like that, because and I apologize up front, y'all. The stats are out there. I just didn't load them up. And I apologize for that.
You know what? Okay, go back. So like 7 to 10 sexual partners in a year for the man or something like that. What are you saying? Something about
Brother
that.
Doug is saying the average man only has 7 to 10 sexual partners in their lifetimes. I don't remember the source, but it's several sources out there. Okay, again, that's on me. In a lifetime.
Okay, once again, that's not bad. You know what I mean? That's not a bad thing, especially if you get into relationships. I mean, that's not a bad thing. So if this dude stays single his whole life, You know what I mean? He's had 7 to 10, relationships in his whole life, which I think is a lot. You know what I mean? But if he's in relationships, there's nothing wrong with that.
And compare that to women, right?
The goal is not to go out there and, it's all about, look, y'all, it's about quality, not quantity.
No, that's you, Jay Swans. Like I keep saying, man, you can't look at it through your lens, bro. You can't. You know what I mean? We're looking at it through the lens of dudes like you said, 7 to 10 sexual partners over a lifetime, bro. I had 10 sexual partners before I was 22.
But what does that have to do with this though? There ain't nothing wrong with having. I mean, dude,
there's nothing wrong with that. But the average dude ain't smashing. That's all I'm saying.
But if the average man has 7 to 10 sexual partners, that's the average dude.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, man. Like I don't. And thanks to everybody who's jumping in the chat. What's good, y'all? What's good? This is a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one.
I forgot they all think we be agreeing and shit all the time.
Oh, they have no idea.
We don't have these conversations before.
This ain't the first time. This is not the first time. We go back and forth on so many topics. Y'all just don't understand. And this is and here's the thing.
Are you watching this? I'm talking to Ned. You might want to watch this.
And here's the thing. This is why I'm always stressing. I always stress what?
Think tank. Arch. Nothing gets past the old think tank. Nothing.
This is how you build up your think tank. You cannot be in an echo chamber, people. This is just a quick aside. You cannot be in an echo chamber. This is my brother right here. I will kill for this man, almost die for this man. He almost died for me.
On many occasions.
On many occasions. But look at us go back and forth right now. Look at us go back and forth, right? Wait, by the time we get to the end of this shit, y'all gonna really see how we get down. It's gonna be like, man, you on some bullshit, bro.
I'm getting my shit, like I'll be back.
Right. Nigga, what? I ain't gotta go nowhere. Mine right here, bro. Shit, you better quit slipping. You better quit slipping. Yeah, and look, I'm like, oh, you gonna get my shit? I will grab my shit with the holster that you gave me, because Jay Swans gave me that holster. Just so y'all know.
Pull that deagle out. I'll go get that deagle out and be on.
Yeah, it be on. You know what I mean? Like, I'll go get your AK, dude. I'm gonna get you with your own weapon. Like, don't do that, man. Leave my AK alone. But my point being this, people, we need to have these kind of conversations in order to grow as people. In order to understand each other's points of view. You've heard me say this, and just today talking to Jay Swans, bro, you can't look at it that way, man. You have to try to look at it from this point of view. And he's like, man, fuck that. I'm like, I'm just saying, give it a try. You know what I mean? Because when I move in the Manosphere, when I move in the red pill world, bro, I'm still me. And I listen to some like, that shit right there is bullshit. I agree, Jay Swans, you need to get into the gym, quit being fat and weird, and get your ass out there and learn how to talk to people. But there are also some people out there who've been really hurt, really, really hurt. And it's hard for them to wrap their head around it. And so they want to do that shit. Right. And because they ain't got no one to talk to about it, because we're men, we're supposed to fucking man the fuck up. We're supposed to. And they do something to other people, or they do something to themselves. All of them are in the Manosphere. Hence, you got these different color fucking pills. And we're going to get into that here in a second with wheat waffles. Which is funny. Miss Globe Girl, I don't think the Manosphere is a big relation to society. I learned about the Manosphere from YouTube only. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it is what it is. Brother Hayoka 33, what's up? Shout out to you, man. This brother right here is sharp. I like you. I love it when you're in the chat. 80% of men are considered unattractive per the an OkCupid survey, and Tinder also did it. Most of the online dating apps have done a little bit of research, and they're seeing who people are swiping on, and women are finding most people unattractive. And now we're getting to a point where women are finding most men economically unattractive. They ain't making enough money because women are doing so well now. More women are going to college, they're coming out with degrees, they're earning more, and they're having a hard time finding men on their level or higher. And again, if you accept hypergamy as the preferred method of dating, of a dating strategy, then it's going to be harder for women. The more successful they are, the less men are going to be in that available pool that they want. So, and I'm kind of looking at that like, shit, that makes sense. Most women don't want to deal with a dude who makes less than them, but not all women. Not all women. I know women out there who are very smart, very talented, very rich, very successful, who date guys who aren't nearly as successful as them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Well, I'm looking at dude's 80% joint, right? And that goes back to something I think you said to me before about, I don't know, I'm going to kind of paraphrase this, but women shop with their hearts and men shop with their eyes. Something along those lines.
It is something along those lines. And then like the red pill, like the Manosphere world will say that men love idealistically, women love opportunistically.
God damn, that's not what I said. Not what you said.
No, but that's what it made me think of that. But men want pretty women.
Yeah, men are visual, but women, they look at emotional shit or something like that.
They look at emotional, and they're looking for different things. Like women, women want security. Like they want.
What my point is that so that whole 80 women find 80% of men unattractive, that doesn't really jive, because women ain't looking at men like that. They look at a picture. I mean, yeah, women want. If you look at Hollywood, you look at movies, all the guys look the same, basically.
And that's where we get into the black pill stuff. The black pill preaches that there's a certain type of facial structure. Wheat Waffles is big on this. There's a certain type of alpha image that most women find attractive, and they want to have sex with those guys. But they know they're not going to get the provision. They're not going to get the security and the provisioning and stuff that they need from that guy because he has so many women. So they'll go and they'll get the friend zone dude or the beta dude, right? Hence that term alpha seed beta needs, and that's what they talk about. You know what I mean? That's Rollo Tomas. Dude, these aren't my words. This is their words.
Yeah, these cats have thought way too hard about it. I'm like, look, yeah, okay, women like Brad Pitt, right? He's in the movies. They find him attractive. You know what I mean? But they dating the dude at the office. You know what I mean? Like that. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the Manosphere is like not necessarily dating the dude at the office. If the dude at the office isn't making as much money as she is or more, she might not be dating that guy. Maybe not. But if let's say he's fine, he's in shape, you know what I mean? He has a little bit of game.
Well, not even that. Like women are looking at like Brad Pitt, like, yeah, I'd like to be with Brad Pitt. Meanwhile, like I said, they're in a relationship with some regular dude. You know what I mean? Like fantasy is fantasy, you know what I mean? But the reality is they're in a relationship with some dude. So I'm saying that 80% thing, I mean, it doesn't really, yeah. You know, I mean, you show a bunch of guys, pictures of Jennifer Lopez or, or whatever, or who was it? What's that? I can't think of the name. Never mind. But a bunch of pictures of Jennifer Lopez. Dude's gonna be like, yeah, I want that. I want that. I want that. But the reality is, they dating, some girl next door. So I mean, come on. Man.
Possibly. But there are a lot of women now who are saying, I'd rather be alone than not have that guy. So, brother Andrew Walker.
Again, a lot of women. I'm like, what?
Oh, you see that? I mean, there's women out there who say that.
Oh, no, wait. Yeah, go ahead, hit your thing. My bad. I didn't mean
that's
to
all good. But brother Andrew's in the house. What's good? Coming over from Suzette Speaks World, one of the speakers up in here. But yeah, there are women out there who are saying, if I can't get the guy I want, then I just won't have anybody. So it's kind of like we got the MGTOW guys, the men going their own way, and it sounds to me that slowly but surely women are starting to move off and go their own way. You know what I mean? Because we always talk about, you saw it night after night after night on Kevin Samuels' platform with all these women saying they want the same type of guy. It's like, that guy doesn't exist. I want a guy that's 6 feet or taller.
Man, what do you call it? Negging? Them women wanted Kevin Samuels to get in them because they was into that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, I can find 50 women that say, yeah, I want you to choke me out and stab me with a knife. And you know what I mean? Like that don't mean nothing. I mean, there's 5 billion people on this planet, you know what I mean? And if you get, once again, 50 million people, then you go, I mean, it's not even a huge number. It's nothing. It's insignificant. You know what I mean? The world does not revolve around this red pill, blue pill, black pill, dudes that just can't get none pill, whatever they call themselves. I mean, it doesn't revolve around that.
And Brother Andrew wanted to know my Cash App. There it is, guys. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate that. I just dropped the Cash App. And if you guys want to donate, that'd be great. But I really would love it if you would share this video. like and share the video. We're really trying hard to get our likes up. But I appreciate any donation out there. Thank you so much.
If you want to donate to me, you just go ahead and donate it. I don't give a damn. I'll take all your money. I'm like that.
Yo, man, don't listen to him. Don't listen to
no shame.
He ain't got no goddamn shame, man. Don't listen to Don't listen to this man. He just a
You big dummy.
that's you, bro. That's you, man. But I appreciate it. I do appreciate the love. I put the banner up. I'm still learning how to work my stuff, and I'm trying to catch up on some of these chats. We were talking about. No, we're doing good. It's me. It's me. I'm lagging on my production thing because I'm engaged with you and I'm thinking about what we need to say.
Because you be trying to argue. You know you can't argue. Look, I'll tell y'all this. Though. I'll tell y'all this. Look, like D, like I said, we do this all the time. So like the stuff he's saying, like he'll tell me all the time, like I don't believe it. This is just what he says, and he means that he ain't crazy like that.
I mean, so I'm just listening. I will throw myself into the world and into their world.
He be playing devil's advocate.
Trying my best to understand where they come from. There's some shit out there that's just too far. I'm like, man, that's just crazy. You know what I mean? Like that shit's just crazy. And my big takeaway with the Manosphere and what my big takeaway with Red Pill is this. I tell the dudes all the time, stop being fucking weird. That's the bottom line, man. It all starts there. Stop being fucking weird. I wouldn't want to talk. There are dudes out there that I don't want to talk to. I'm a fucking man. I can imagine that women don't want to deal with these dudes. Like, what the fuck's wrong with y'all, bro?
That's
you know
real.
What I'm saying?
Because I'll send D stuff. I'll be, yo, check this out. And he'll just reply that dude's fucking weird. That'll be his response. He won't even.
Motherfucker weird. Like, ask motherfuckers weird. There's nothing you can do about that. That's
I sent you something the other day and you were like, yeah, that's a problem. I can't remember.
That's a fucking problem. And it's like, dude, it is what it is. Like, that's just a weird motherfucker, man.
But our opinions do differ because, like I said, I've been in a relationship for going on 26 years now. So I'm not out there in the streets and I don't even pay attention to what's going on around me or what women are doing. I focus on my situation. And but he's out there, So, he tells me, we talk about it, and then I'll go ask, I'll go ask my wife's friends or whatever, I'll go ask the neighbor kids and be like, yo, what is this? And I get different responses than he does, but also my bubble is different. My environment is different than his. So, and that's one of the reasons why we get different responses and stuff like that. But, he's legitimately getting in me because this is what we do. This is legit.
Yeah, we chop this shit up all the time trying to figure it out.
Yo, go back, man. Why you going so fast?
It's in the chat, but this is Miss Globe Girl 7 out of 10.
Looking at the chat.
No,
I'll be just like this. Look.
Yeah, he be in the chat all the time. I rarely read. Like, if I'm on somebody's shit, I rarely read chats. When I'm on Manly King's thing, I'll read the chats because those people be going hard. They be clowning like, I just feel bad. Like, you talk about shoving in lockers, but other than that. But Miss Globe Girl, 7 out of 10 partners over a lifetime is not bad thing for a man. For the average woman, I hope is less. No, it's way more. It is way more for the average woman, Miss Globe Girl. Because they smashing. Like, these numbers we talking about, like the 18 to 35, that most of those men are virgins or, have very limited sexual access. But the women in the same cohort are out there smashing, right? So think about that. The numbers, it's not even across the board. Brother Hayoka, because of parental investment, quality is more important to women. Yeah, because they got to carry the baby. They got more on the line. It's more dangerous.
Well, hold on. Shouldn't that be more important to men too? Hold on. That doesn't make any sense.
But here's the thing, though, right? Like you can have a woman. All right, hold on. Hold on. I got a story for y'all.
Hey, hold on.
Oh, got a story.
Sit down,
got a story.
It's story time. It's story time.
I got a story for y'all. So there was a woman, this very attractive woman. She had a boyfriend. They were coming to the end of the relationship. She didn't want it to be over. The guy was ready to move on. They've been together for years, right? She wanted a kid. So she got the bright idea, well, I got this boyfriend. If I get pregnant, he's not going to leave me and we're going to be happy, right? This is just, I'm not saying this is not reflective of all women. I'm talking about one person. This is what this person did, right? So she went out. She was trying to get pregnant. She was supposed to be on birth control. She was telling her, her boyfriend, live in, she's on birth control, whatever. She's trying to get pregnant. It's not working. So what did she do? She went out. She took a month and she went out to mad clubs and she started having sex with dudes that looked like her boyfriend. She don't even remember how many guys she was with. I think she knew how many guys she was with. She didn't want to tell me. Right? She got pregnant. So now she's home with her guy. She's pregnant. Dude left her. The guy was fixed. Her boyfriend got fixed.
Oh, no wonder.
He knew that wasn't his child. And then that woman was scrambling, trying to figure out which dude was the father. Because she needed help for the child. She wanted child support. She was going to have this baby. She wasn't going to, she wasn't going to exercise her options or anything like that. Right. And I lost track of her. I don't know what happened. She had the baby. I don't know what happened with her. Right. So that's what they mean. Like, women have more invested. Like, if something were to go wrong, like, they could die in the process of being pregnant. Things happen to their body, all this kind of stuff. There's more on the line for them. Right now, had it been 50, 60 years ago, that dude who was in a relationship with her, actually, they would have been married before they even lived together because the rules were different back there. Society was different. But proof of paternity is another big thing that they talk about in the Manosphere all the time. They talk about what's going on with the family court system. They talk about how men have no reproductive rights. These are all the things that they talk about in the Manosphere.
Well, I mean, in the Manosphere, they talk about, because like this statement here, I mean, the whole equality is more important than women. Well, maybe they should talk to the men about that. I mean, if you're going to lay down with somebody, be prepared. I mean, I've told my sons that if you're going to lay down, do what you do. But if, be prepared. If that woman gets pregnant, you got a baby. You know what I mean? So maybe that's something they should preach in that Manosphere. Like, yo, choose your partners wisely. Because you got a baby, you stuck with them for at least 18 years.
Right. And it depends on who you talk to in the Manosphere. They're variant messages around that in the Manosphere. You know what I mean? And I see Doug in there holding it down with Miss Globe Girl. I guess Miss Globe Girl was asking about the Black Manosphere, and it's like it depends on which Manosphere you're referring to. The Black Manosphere is relatively small in comparison to the greater worldwide Manosphere, which they're heavy on Reddit, absolutely. And I'm referring to the overall. I'm not referring to the Latino or the Black or the Asian Manosphere. I'm talking about the big.
I didn't know they came in different flavors.
It does, dude. All the fucking pills, like it does. It is. Yeah. The way the Black Manosphere looks at something may be different than the way the Latino Manosphere or the Asian Manosphere or the white Caucasian Manosphere looks at it. It depends. You know what I mean? But to your point, yeah, they teach about, certain guys in the Manosphere teach about responsibility. Be responsible. And if the child turns out to be yours, first of all, get a paternity test, like get a DNA test.
No doubt. If you
get a DNA test, yes.
If you ain't married, get a paternity. If you are married and you suspect your wife's out there running the streets, do that. But you're pretty much stuck with it. If you're married, yeah, baby,
you're stuck. And in some states, it don't matter. Like in Florida, in Florida, your wife can go out and get pregnant by somebody else, but you married to her, you still on the hook for child support for that child. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Brother Williams in here, man. Fresh to Fit Dallas. What's up? I see y'all, Cornerstone. I see y'all. But I mean, it's yo, it's crazy. So this is the kind of stuff that they're talking about, right? So, and this is the kind of stuff that they're talking about. And bro, it's so much going on. I see the good and the bad in it. I do. And I think a lot of it is good. Anything where men can go and get help and they can ask them questions and get help. At least nowadays, we can go get a DNA test and you can prove paternity. But before now, you couldn't do that. So that's why guys
even get that, right? To get that paternity, that's a fight to even get that, though. You got to get all kinds of so
it is a fight. Now, normally now, even in the most liberal states, you can all you got to do is tell the judge she said she was sleeping with someone else. The judge will order a DNA test. You got to pay for it. The judge will be like, do it. That should be, if you're going in for child support, like a child support, a spousal support order or something like that, that should be mandatory. You have to sign a waiver. If you're a guy that says, well, I'm sure that's my baby, you should be forced to sign a waiver. Otherwise, there should be a DNA test done. But, so it's one of those, it's crazy out here, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, that would make it, make you more want to choose the quality of the woman that you're with. I mean, you want to be on top of that. I mean, I definitely, knowing all the stuff that I know now, I definitely would want to be way more, I was already kind of vet and stuff, but I'd be even more on top of that. You know what I mean? Just because of what could happen, the potential of it. I told my son, look, if you get chlamydia or something, that's a good thing. You can get that cured. You get a baby, it's a wrap.
Baby or herpes. Baby or herpes stays with you forever.
Yeah,
you know
for
what
real.
I mean? Brother,
pills though, right? They got that
I don't-
cream.
You tell me, bro. I don't know.
I have no idea, bro. You better ask Usher.
Better ask somebody. I swear to you, I don't know. Brother Hayoka, like DL, even going to a woman, talking to a man on less than her or making less than her, he's not her first choice. Yeah. That's all part of it.
How does
wouldn't be my first
how does
choice.
she know what you? How does she know what you making?
Dudes,
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like unless she roll up on you at Burger King, you know what I mean? How does she know what you making? Why would she even? You know what I mean? Why would she even know that? Like, why are you even discussing money early on, at least? You know what I mean?
Because dudes they have no game, they have no social. I remember a guy who was dating this woman, older, divorcee guy, met this woman, she was divorced and had kids, and she demanded that he prove how much money he makes before she would date.
Bro, that's a wrap then. She could go. Like, why even deal with that?
That's me. That's what the Manosphere teaches.
If a woman says something crazy like that, step.
That's what the Manosphere teaches.
Yo, this is funny though. This one here is funny though. This one. Really?
Give a choice between Brad Pitt and the Office Boy. They pick Brad. Yeah.
And she's a fool if she don't. I mean, come on.
And that's everyone's.
That don't even mean nothing.
We're all in agreement. Absolutely,
that don't even mean nothing.
It does mean something. She'll pick Brad Pitt, knowing that's Brad Pitt. In the back of her mind, she knows that he is not going to wife her up. So she'll go pick Brad Pitt, and all the Brad Pitts like that get smashed, right? Bounce around. Joystick to joystick to joystick.
You saying all women. You can't say all women like that.
I'm not saying, I'm saying in it most, we can say most.
I don't even say most.
We could say, bro, I'm telling you, I see it all the time, man. If I want to go out tonight, put on a Rolex, right? Pull up in Ned's Jaguar, you know what I mean, with the chain on and all that.
Whatever. Say Nez.
Yeah, Ned's Jaguar.
My name on it too, brother.
Now, whatever. It's Ned's Jaguar. If I wanted to, I go out, pull up in that, or because I got the SUV, I don't want to pull up in the SUV right away. You know what I mean? Even though it's it's a European, but you pull up in a nice car, you wear all the trappings of being a wealthy guy. You coming out of there with 3 or 4 chicks. Not just because I have the trappings and I appear like I have the money, but I also have game. I know how to famoose that shit, right? Where the average dude doesn't. You feel me? And that's all it is. There are guys out there who simply don't know. They don't know, and they get wrecked.
You make it sound like most women don't run a relationship. They just want to smash dudes.
Man, that argument could be made today. I ain't saying that's always been the case, but I'm telling you, that argument could be made today, bro. Right? If I go out, when I go to Miami, you notice I don't take pictures. I mean, I take pictures, but I don't post them.
Bro, come on, that ain't nothing new. We ain't never, you don't take sand to the beach, bro. We know that, gang. Come on.
Right. But while I'm down there and I'm doing bottles and hanging out with these celebrity type, quasi celebrity types, and sometimes full blown celebrities, I'm on boats doing all this kind of stuff. I'm riding around in Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces and stuff like that. Shout out to Fresh. You know what I mean? Like when I'm doing all that, I'm not like taking pictures like everyone else is. I'm not taking pictures. But if I were to take those pictures and come back in this dating market today and post that all over my Instagram and then start hitting people up, pay for a blue check, get verified, got a blue check, man, it's so stupid. But these women from all over the country would fly out here. They would fly out here to be with me.
So nobody ever told these dudes, act like you've been there before. They never had that discussion. You know what I mean? That's something else you learn in sports. You score a touchdown.
They don't play, bro. They don't play sports. I keep trying to tell you, you can't look at it through your lens. Yeah, we talking about dudes ain't never been punched in the mouth, bro. They ain't never been punched in the mouth. What the fuck do they know about the world, bro? What was that song? What you niggas know about the dirty South?
Yo, I thought we was doing better.
But that's the song. That's the song. It's one of those things, bro. Like it's you gotta like really step out of who you are. The average dude these days, these kids ain't playing the average dude. The kids who play sports now, they're being groomed by their parents to do so because they have, whatever they have. But the average, it's not, you ain't got like the average dude. Remember the little dudes used to play on the football team and everybody tried to pick on him. He just showed his heart. He just had heart. And then he just, boom. He earned his letter. He walking around as big man on campus.
No,
Smallest gown is too.
We just put that dude in the locker. We ain't got no love for him.
Bro, and not at Woodward, not in the hood. That dude came out, he had heart. You know what I'm saying?
The whole team, they was all 6-footers where I was. So, you know,
shout out to David Hardy. Man, is what smallest dude in the locker room. That he got playing time. He had heart. Shout out to David Hardy. You know what I mean? He know who he is. The man was a giant, getting chicks and all that. You know what I mean? But the average dude today, they ain't got heart like that. You feel me? They too scared. They gonna run home to mama, and mama ain't telling them to run back out there and deal with it. Mama's gonna come out, right?
So they're gonna go to YouTube, the same place where I go to learn how to tighten the faucet to figure out how to be a man.
Yes, and they find the manosphere. It should be, and they find the manosphere, and this is the first time they're hearing these things. This is the first time motherfuckers like, yo, man, Andrew Tate, he told those dudes on Fresh and Fit, you don't deserve a baddie, right? You talking about you don't deserve any Foxy Brown. You fat. You living in your basement. You ain't making no money. You don't deserve any. Now send me $50 for Hustlers University.
You beat me to it. I was gonna say.
And I ain't mad at him, but he's telling them the truth. And they ain't gonna learn how to holler at chicks in Hustlers University. Hustlers University is about other things. It's not about womanizing. You know what I mean? So that's,
the sad part is they'll watch that, right? And they'll go outside and they'll say hi to a girl. They'll go say hi to 10. And, one of them will let them touch it. One of them girls will let them touch it for a minute. And then they'd be like, yo, it works. It works. It's amazing.
It works. That one time. Oh, my goodness. Miss Globe Girl. It's like older women are mesmerized by Denzel, but it doesn't mean they want Denzel. That's right. But nowadays, and I believe that, Miss Globe Girl, because, you're cut from a different cloth. Most of the women who come into this platform, they listen, they're cut from a different cloth. But these young girls today are super fast. They trying to get at it. What? Go ahead. What'd you say, bro?
I was going to talk to the neighbor's girl about that. Her and her friends, and ain't none of them like that.
All right.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
All right.
This dude here, man.
All right.
Really?
All right. All I want to say is this, man. How many of those nice girl next doors have you smashed in your day? You ain't got to say the number out loud.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
I'm looking at this right here. This dude, man, take your little clown ass and go somewhere.
Jay Swans is clueless about the streets. He's clueless about today's streets. I am too. The only reason I know about it is because I'm out there, and that's not even a slight to you, bro. That's not of a slight. He's just trying to tell you, you ain't out here in this particular world. You're not.
That dude want to be me when he grows up. That's what it is.
No,
he want to be me when he grow up. Dude. That's what
he wants to be. But here's the thing: he wants to be. But what he is saying is, you're not out here right now, which you are not. He ain't lying. He ain't trying to. That's not a slight. You are not out here, bro. You're not out here. I'm barely out here. And what I go down to St. Pete, Jesus, man, the stuff that I see, it's way different now, man. And there are guys out there with this pickup artistry stuff. There's dudes out here faking it till they make it and all that kind of stuff, right? You got all that going on, right? Which is fine. But the majority of these women are falling for the okie doke all the time. Men have a space where they're going and they're trying to learn shit. They go to the Manosphere and they come away with some bad shit sometimes. I just want to be able to get a girl in bed. Okay, go over there to this pickups artistry. Buy this book. Matter of fact, here you go, right here. This is a book that was floating around, in like the 90s, right? the late 90s. The Mystery Method. You read this book and it's like, yeah, that shit does work. You know what I mean? I looked at it, I'm like, okay, I can see that working. Do I use that shit? No.
I guess, man. Like I said, I sit back. I'm like, look, man. Anything you do, you gotta have a plan. You gotta, you gotta be on a mission. And if your mission is to smash a bunch of chicks, don't be mad when you lose the game because you smashed a bunch of chicks. You know what I mean? Don't be mad when you lose the game. Don't be pouting in the corner talking about why don't nobody love me.
But we ain't talking about them guys. We're not the guys who smash. The guys out there just smashing, running plates. We ain't talking about them. Again, talking about Andrew Tate. He talks about it. He like the dudes who are spinning plates. These pickup artistry guys. They can't get a woman to love them. Why? Because they are wearing a mask. It's not who they are, right? So they're constantly just spinning plates. They're constantly just smashing random chicks, and they wound up unhappy. There's like
so what is this Manosphere shit? It teaches these dudes how to wear this mask and how to front and not be who they are. Is that what this is then?
It teaches you how wear these kind of clothes, say these lines in this order, and you say it to enough women, one of them gonna fall for it.
So, but that's wrong, right? Because that's not who they are.
That's not who they are. And so you can get her to sleep with you. You would smash, but you can't keep her.
So then that manosphere shit is BS then. Okay,
That
y'all
is
want to be fake.
that's one facet of the manosphere. There's another facet of the manosphere that says if you want a woman, you need to be the best version of yourself. You need to build yourself up. You need to get your money right, stay in shape,
But that's
get your mind right.
That's not who you are. Like, you know what I mean?
No. There's a facet of the manosphere that says you need to become this type of person. You need to become the best version of you. You need to become this. And if you do this, right, and you are true to yourself, when women will come. If you're successful, women will come. And we know, so there's that in the manosphere as well. There's the I want the cheat code so I can smash chick. And there's the life is hard. If you really want to be attractive to women, this is what you need to do because most women find these traits attractive, right? Then you got the guys out there like, I don't want to do the work. I'm gonna go my own way, right? Then you got the guys who are like, I'm never gonna be able to get a woman because my cheeks will look funny and I'm short and I this, that, and the third. All that's in the manosphere.
Oh.
All of it.
So what is it? I don't even know what that even means. What he's trying to say.
What? It seems that you're not UDL. It seems that I'm using the false equivalence to the mate selection.
I don't understand what that even means. What's he talking about?
I'm not quite sure. Like, I don't know. It could be because we're way behind on the chat, so I'm not sure.
Word? Oh,
yeah. At what point?
Yo, catch back up real quick. Catch back up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump through here real quick, y'all. We are way behind on the chat, and we still haven't watched the video. We got like 2 videos to watch.
Well, hold on.
Girl, exactly. That was all for the show. These women calling into KS.
I don't know what that is.
That was all for show for like the women's calling to Kevin Samuels. And I think she was agreeing with you at one point. You were saying that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And then Miss AKA was saying, I think Kevin Samuels attracted a certen type of woman. That's true.
That's what they said. They watched it once and was like, yeah, these this is for sure.
Yeah, brother one was talking about being socially awkward. Men today have it harder due to technology and social media, lack of being raised with a father in the home. They have lost social skills. I agree, Brother Doug. That was from Brother Doug. I agree with that.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of that.
It's
it
multivariate. Yeah, there's levels to this shit, Miss Globe Girl. How do you know that's more, DL? How do you know that it's more? And I forget what part again. I'm so far behind. I don't know, Brother Andrew. The issue I see is quality of person that you deal with. In my situation, I was single father. I had custody of my daughter. Was very young at the time, and 3.5 or so. I wasn't bringing people in, right? Because you had to focus on your responsibility.
What you should be doing. That's being a good father.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really
what you should be doing, man. You don't want your daughter seeing that, thinking that's the norm.
Yeah, DL, your co-host. Yeah, DL, your co-host is not neutral on this topic. I see y'all didn't have pre-show meeting before going live. We don't want to.
Well, hell no.
Yeah, we. This is a real talk, y'all. This is
a legit conversation.
This is how you should be talking to your people. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? DL, you can't argue delusions. Like, yeah, you can't. Yes. But there are people. Listen, there are on both sides. There are men and women on both sides who are fucking delusional.
Yeah,
right?
And that's real.
And that's you can't argue that shit. I mean, that's just real talk.
We talked about that.
And like Hayoko was like, do you have a call in? I'm gonna drop the link in a little bit, y'all, because we might not even be able to get to the videos. We're already an hour over an hour in. But I do want to get to the red pill video, and I'm gonna drop the link in a little bit. Yeah, like this story has already started off crazy. Yeah. Oh, my story. Yeah, well, now we're talking about the story I just dropped with the old little girl going out there getting it. Yeah, it's like that sounds like a Tyler Perry movie. Should be. Somebody, hey, don't tell Tyler Perry. We done seen this movie. And his brother Jason like sounds like reality. You know what I mean? Who's reality? There's a lot of people out there who do this, y'all. I'm just trying to tell you, there's people out there who do it.
Yo, I'm not saying, choose your bubbles wisely.
Please.
You know what I'm saying? Choose your circles wisely.
Yeah, that's a false equivalence coming from Brother Hayoka. He's definitely going to jump on. The brother's real sharp, man. He was jumped on the AI show. Brother Andrew, they do preset the manuscript repeatedly. Be aware of who you're dealing with and what they bring to the table. Yeah. They do preset the man. Yeah. You got to, I mean, that's part of being a man. And all that has to do with accountability on both sides. Like as a guy, if you pick a 304, you pick a chick that's out there like that, and you didn't figure it out, man, that's on you.
That's
you
on
got
you.
a veteran. You got a veteran, and that's what the Manosphere talks about. They talk about
Take your
vetting
L.
people.
You know what I'm saying? Take your L.
Take your L, deal with it. Don't be crying about it.
That's a real statement right there. Because I see from what I've looked at, you know, like I said, over the last couple of days and everything, there's a whole lot of double talk, man, for real. That's real.
Some of the Black Manosphere is a bunch of double talk.
Yeah.
Double speak or whatever. And Heyoka, a high percentage of women still have contact with men in their past. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's absolutely true. That's true. And then
and that goes both ways. You know what I mean? It's you know what I mean? It's how you feel in your relationship. Trust is hard, man. Trust is hard.
Yeah, Miss Globe, there's a lot of backtracking with the Manosphere too. They sound ridiculous when they trash women, and the next day they praise women because some claim to be happily married, hypocrites, and parasites. You get.
Yo, I hope I don't come across like that. You know what I mean? I really do.
Bro, you're married, bro, so it's not like because
no, but I mean, she was saying that they praise women, but they be clowning. I mean, I hope I don't come across like that.
I don't know.
But my world is different, though. Like I said, my bubble is, like I said, all my people are married now. You know what I mean, or been in long-term relationships. So it's
Yeah. And Brother Doug's like, it's not hard to figure out how much someone makes depending on their profession. Yeah, you can get some ballpark stuff, man. But there's some people out there that will ask you, man, demand proof. Like that story after the woman demanded proof, the guy had to show pay stubs. I was like, damn, you still
I wouldn't even continue that. Like, you know what? You need proof. All right, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, why would you even entertain that?
Why? You know what I mean?
And quietly, put it this way, I guarantee, brother, in that situation, that wasn't the first time she done did some fly shit like that. All right.
Look, and Miss AKA lady, look what Miss AKA lady just said. If a woman cries you bring your 1040 to the first date and you continue to rock with her, you deserve everything that comes with it. You know what comes with her. Yeah, absolutely.
Just like when you say, exercising that options, hey, as long as he's up front with her, I mean, it's cool, right? Hey, you know what? I agree with you. You know what I mean? If a brother says, hey, I'm spinning plates, but you're my number one, and she sticks around, she deserves what she gets. I ain't mad at him.
She deserves what she gets.
Same situation.
Yeah, Ms. Glover, like, it depends on where you're going to a strip club. Yeah, I got to do research. That's what I do in the strip club.
Yeah, they won't let me do no research.
I got to do research. But where y'all playing though, I'm trying to get, and I've gotten a few women to agree to this. It's just hard to get their schedules set up. But women in that industry, I want to bring them on the platform to talk about, what's really going on out there. Like talk about how they see it from their perspective. And so I have been going. I have been talking to people. I'm currently trying to get them on. And I tell you what, man, look,
it's hard to get them in the industry because between their exotic dancing and their law school studies. They schedule's pretty tight.
Really hard.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Studying for the bar, you know what I mean, while they're twerking. You see, give me canceled before I even get started. And then, Brother Doug, social media and dating apps have changed the game. Absolutely. It's a brand new game. It is, man, the game is so hard. Like, you really have to be expert at womanizing to just to do regular in today's game. You have to know what you're doing, bro. Like, for real. Like, you got to be like damn near Yoda level to be dealing with
I don't know about that because I got two sons that that struggle through and have conversations with me on a regular basis about it. You know what I mean? I would say they are far from experts, but
how tall are they? How tall are they?
Well, 6'8", and it's probably 6'2".
Yeah, 6'8", 6'2". They got their head together, right? They come from a good home. They got a good foundation and all that. And at the end of the day, right, they're doing well for themselves financially, right?
Okay.
So that puts them in a different category.
Why would a woman not want that? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that they shouldn't want that. I'm just simply stating that for your sons, you know what I mean, for your kids, they are, just by their physical presence, they are already in the top 25, top 30%.
But they're also, said that, they're also gentlemen and they respect women.
And they get to smash what they want, as opposed to those guys out there, especially in JD's unit, who are out there smashing whatever's laying around.
Yeah, see that.
You see what I'm saying?
But
right? What's the difference between JD and the rest of the dudes in his unit? It's his family. It's his home. It's his mom and his dad. JD, what did he tell that young girl?
Which one?
The one that had all her stuff hanging out.
Oh, yeah. The one that said, what did he tell her or tell us?
What did he tell her?
Oh, he told her the less is more. I mean, more is less. You know what I mean? Like she was dressed. You know, she had like the little booty shorts and like a little half shirt, and she was attractive. But he was like, you know, he didn't. You know, she met him up somewhere, and he was like, he wasn't like, why are you dressed like this? But he told her, he's like, you know, less is more. I mean, more is less because he didn't like the way she was dressed. You know, and his issue was, as he said, she wasn't like, you know, she's not like my mom.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now imagine those young dudes who were raised in a single family household. I'm not saying it's the woman's fault. It's just what it is. Right. And his mom was wearing that outfit. His mom is wearing the 304 uniform going out. He's going to think that's normal.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
You know,
and again, and what's the manosphere say? The manosphere is like, nah, bro, that's not normal.
Is that what they're really saying though?
If you go some, there are those dudes out there like, I just want to smash. And those are the easy kills. And there are guys who are like, look, if you're looking to be the, you know, for a wife, then this is how you need to vet her, and these are the things you should be seeing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it all comes down to the home being fractured and what's being taught. You know, everybody gets a trophy and all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, dude, thank y'all so much for the engagement. I'm sitting here trying to catch up. We've been like 5 minutes trying to catch up. Right. And Brother Andrew, there's a lack of interpersonal connections out there. True.
Yes.
Right. Some women today are like men. When it comes to dating and mating, they're like men because they think they can smash like men. And it's not hard for women to get sex. It's really hard for men to get sex. And women like to think, well, since I got all these guys banging me, that I'm high value. No, that makes you less value. But then like, well, a man's going around banging and he's like a stud because ain't he a hoe? He's a male hoe. Like he's a stud. That's respected because it's hard to do. Again, this is what the manosphere. That's what the manosphere talks about.
I was gonna say that's. I mean, I don't find that to be respectful. I mean, now that I have sons like that, I want them to do better. You know what I mean? That's my
okay. But we're talking about society. We're not talking about you. And society looks at a man who has a bunch of beautiful women that he's constantly smashing. That guy gets looked with some admiration to an extent. But it's women.
I don't know if society looks at it like that no more because, you know, like you said, your boy Tate, you know what I mean? They canceled his ass.
Yeah, they canceled Tate because these young guys I personally think they canceled Tate because he's influencing these young guys. These young guys are coming out of the mindset of, you know what I mean?
Funny.
They're like, yo, I could jump up. Brother Hayaka, most men don't understand that there is a difference between desire, panty droppers, and attractive. He can pay my bills. That goes to beta. That goes to alpha needs, alpha C, beta needs kind of stuff that they preach all the time. And it's a dual strategy. I'm not mad. If you're a beautiful woman and you go out here and you're young and some dude who got game talked you out of them draws and got you pregnant and ran off, right? If that happened, that's fucked up, right? Yeah. So, but you're a beautiful woman and you can go find another dude that you're not necessarily that sexually attracted to, but he's going to provide security and help you raise your child to the best of your ability. And that's good for that child. Yeah, be with him. Marry that guy.
Don't be with him.
That's a win for you. If you can get that dude, that's a win for you.
Wow.
That's a win for you. Right? Because, dude, that's a win. What is she going to do? She's going to sit back and not? She's going to sit back and let her child go without, let her child suffer when she's a dude over here? There's a beta who's willing.
You just jacked up some brother right now. You just jacked him up right now. Well, you don't love this dude. You ain't attracted to him, but he can pay your bills. Go ahead and be with him, girl.
Okay, that's the female strategy. The male strategy, you better be able to vet through that shit. What do they say? What do they say on the man? The manosphere says that single mothers are recreational use only. I know the term sounds horrible. But this is basically what they're saying is you don't want to take on that responsibility, bro. Because you're going to get into this relationship with this woman. She may not even really be attracted to you like that. She just knows that you can financially provide.
That's disrespectful as fuck, though, man. You know what I mean?
That's
sometimes shit happens, you know, and you get stuck in a situation.
You get stuck in a situation. But if you're a beautiful woman and you can get a guy to help you take care of that situation, why wouldn't you do that? But if you're that guy, you should not get into that situation.
See, that's the part of the mess which I find to be fucked up. You know what I mean? That's some little boy childish shit right there. I mean, for real, man.
But do you understand the meaning behind it?
No, I don't, man. There's a lot of good women out there that, you know what I mean, for whatever situation, they got kids, you know what I mean, or they got a kid. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean you go into it trying to fuck them over. You know what I mean? You don't go into it like that.
It's not but you go into that with your eyes wide open. Why would you get into a situation?
That's different. That is different, all right, than going and talking about they for record notes. That's going in and just trying to fucking move on. You ain't got shit for them. Going into it with your eyes open is a whole different situation. You know what I mean? Be aware she got a kid. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean you can't be with her. That doesn't mean you can't be in a relationship with her.
When I wasn't a single, before I had kids, I would never take a single mother serious. I would never be with a single mom. I wasn't doing it. I smash. You know what I mean? We go hang out. We go to movies, whatever. We have a Netflix. They wasn't Netflix back then. We go to Blockbuster, make it a Blockbuster night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would smash. I'll be there for her relief, her release. But was I going to be in a relationship with her? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, once I had a kid, that changed.
Why did it change?
Because I'm like, we both coming into this with our separate responsibilities. If we're going to come in, we vet each other and say, we're going to merge these families, that's fine. We're going to merge these families. But if
either way, you're going to pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? Either way, you're going to pay her bills. How about it change because you might have understood her situation a little bit better?
No,
now, that's what possibly
it changed because I'm like, I am in the same boat as her. So, okay, I'm not worried about that. But as a single man with no kids, I'm not going to take care of somebody else's kid, bro.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I'm not going to take care of somebody else's kid. And let's say a relationship goes 2 years. And then I realize, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I want to walk away. In some states, they can make you pay child support for that child. It's not even yours.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to go in with your eyes wide open.
Yeah.
I get the language can be kind of harsh sometimes, and I get that part. I'm like, well, that's where the childness come in. That's what you know what I mean? You sound like little kids or whatever. But the underlying message is still strong. You know what I mean? Brother Andrew, Denzel Washington's wife held him up while he was working on getting a career in acting. She had his back, and she even paid for the cab home for their first dates. That's cool.
Yeah,
but
that's cool. They got W's. They both won.
But they won. But Denzel was out there doing his thing as well. You know what I mean? That gets into that whole Kevin saying he was high value man exercise.
So again, you don't know that. He ain't got no kids nowhere else. You don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
I do know that. I was in Hollywood. I know that for a fact. And all of Hollywood knows that's for a fact. I do know that.
Okay.
And you know who else who knew it? His wife. But that's their business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Denzel was respectful, but I do know that. And then Ms. Global A, DL, you have a lot of them books though. Yeah, I wanted to read this stuff.
Research.
I wanted to read this stuff. I was like, what? That mystery method shit? That mystery method book. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Girl. Facts on this though. Look, I suggest you look at them books too, because you know what? Know your enemy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No one understands your enemy.
Y'all see that book behind me? Nobody talking. Jason's right. Y'all, you can't see it in this picture. You can see it in this picture. See that book behind me? That's The Art of War. That's Sun Tzu.
Yeah.
Know yourself, know your enemy. Not to say that we're enemies, but you got to know the opposing side. Yeah, we ain't got these books. The only of the 3 books that I showed today, Unplug Alpha. This is the only book that I really recommend to young guys. Read this. I'll tell young guys, read this. That's Rich Cooper. Read the Unplugged Alpha. You know what I mean? He touched on some really good points. This is a guy, successful man. He was married, went through the whole divorce thing. You know what I mean? Had to fight to get custody. You know, at least to get to be in his daughter's life. On the other side of that, he built himself up and he got red pilled, right? And that's another thing with this red pill world. Something happens to dudes that makes them red pill. They go through something and they get that gut punch. And then they fall into this world. And once they hit that rabbit hole, man, like I said, it branches off into so many different things.
They have trouble recovering from it.
They have trouble recovering from it.
You know what I mean? I think that's part of it too. Sometimes you got to learn how to take an L, man. You know what I mean? Like, I've taken L's like in middle school. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
shit, nigga, I took an L a year and a half ago. A year and a half ago, I took an L. Was all my fault. It's all good.
Yeah, everybody takes an L. I mean, but you can't go down that rabbit hole. Like I said, you know, D and I have talked, you know what I mean? Like we have deep talks. Like they go like this a lot of times. We have deep talks. And I've told my man, like, yo, man, just, you know, don't forget yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just recently we talked. Just recently, I'm like, yo, my issue, don't forget yourself, brother. That's all. And know who you are. You know what I mean? And sometimes, I guess this is where brothers do need to be able to come together. Because, you know, like I said, I told Dale, I'm not saying nothing. I wouldn't say out. But I mean, I've told Dale, man, you know what I mean? Like, know your value, brother. You know what I mean? I think a lot of young brothers don't understand that. Know your value. You know what I mean? Know that, you know, a lot of the people that, you know, you may be trying to follow and such, you know, maybe looking at you, I mean, maybe giving you bad advice because they hating on you. You know what I mean? And that's my kind of thing. You know, I talk to my sons about that. Know your value. And it's cool to have haters. You know, I think it was Kobe Bryant that said, you know, it's cool to be hated because they only hate the great ones, not the good ones.
That's it.
That's it.
You know, And Brother Doug says here, the Manosphere is basically a collective of men sharing their experiences wherever it is, family, court, law, game, traveling bros, MGTOW, and the men that want families. They're all a part of that. They're all a part of that. And like Brother Andrew was saying here, I'm afraid to date these days because some of the women are not stable. And I want to have one more child. I have a 12-year-old right now. I'm 46, and I have a solid foundation to work from. Hey, if there's any single women in here, man, holla at your boy, Brother Andrew.
And that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. Vet that shit. You know what I mean? Vet them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm sure there are a lot of crazy ones out there. And know your circle. See what see what's moving around you. Take a look at your people.
If y'all want a good man, because I see Brother Andrew out here in these, you know what I mean, these YouTube streets, man. If y'all want a good man, if y'all see Brother Andrew, all y'all got to do is say this.
Holla, 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 holla.
You better be careful putting your name on that, bro. This cat could be sitting in his basement wearing a skin suit. You know what I'm saying? You don't know this dude.
It could be, but I'm just saying I had to get to my button. I wanted to get to
oh, my bad. Okay, there you go. You had to use the button.
So it was the punch. The setup and punchline, bro. And the game is called setup and punchline, bro.
Oh, my bad.
We got you. Messed up my joke, man. So 1 for 34 is in the house, man. I'm trying to catch up. I just want to show these videos. I mean, these videos. I want to show these chats real quick. Brother Andrew, I look for quality and someone that I actually like and can work with. The best relationships are built on a variety of things: loyalty, respect, honesty, and then love.
Yeah, that's real shit right there. Like I said, we talked about this, but Nay and I, if you sit back and look at us on paper, we ain't got nothing in common. You know what I mean? But that's my baby though. So, you know. Yeah,
let's get that. And Brother Hayoka, hang in there, man. Give me like 10 more minutes. I'm gonna drop the link. You're equating how men and women. You're equating how men select women compared to how women select men. There's a part of that, and they teach that in the Manosphere. they talk about women.
It's all love, brother.
Yeah, they. That's funny. You're like, no beef killer. Yeah, don't worry about that. They teach that the way men mate select and the way women mate select are different. We look for different things. One of the major things that they talk about in the Manosphere is how men and women are different. We are not just physically and all that kind of stuff, but the way that we hunt, quote unquote, the way that we mate select is different. You need to understand both. Women need to understand this just to make sure that they ain't dealing with a guy who's just trying to get the Foxy Brown, because there's a lot of guys out there who are good at it and they just want to smash, right? Men need to understand how women mate select so they don't get the quote unquote gold digger. Yeah. Right? They don't get the woman who's just after their resources and is not going to be a dutiful wife. That's not going to be loyal, right? She's not going to respect you. I see that all the time. Women out here just getting out of pocket, not respecting their men. The kind of woman that's going to get you into some shit, maybe get you beat up or killed. That's, as a man, you need to know how to avoid all that. Again, all this is covered in the Manosphere. It's such a broad thing. This community is massive. You got people like me in there all the way up to these black pill incel dudes. They're all in there, right? And men are trying to help. Some of these men can't be helped. You know what I mean? Some of these dudes are just shitty dudes. You know what I mean? And again, it is what it is. So, Wonderful 34 is in the house. What's good, man? Good to see you, fam. Thanks for coming through. Man. Yeah, man. You know, if y'all like this, man, go ahead and give it a like. You know what I'm saying? Share this video, please. You know what I mean? If you guys think this is pretty cool. Miss A.K.A. Lady, the best part of the Manosphere is allowing women to understand men better. I agree with that. As women that not around a lot of men, I have learned so much. I think a lot differently about men now. Much more understanding. And yes, ladies, y'all should be watching this shit. Y'all should be watching Fresh and Fit. Y'all should be. I'm not saying agree with it, but every night men are watching that shit. A lot of dudes, like it or not, are watching that shit. A lot of dudes are watching Andrew Tate, like it or not. A lot of dudes are watching Donovan Sharp, right? Y'all need to be watching this shit, because these dudes are going to come at you with some of these philosophies. Wow. And, you know, you need to be able to deal with that shit. And most of these guys, I'm not going to lie to you, man. Most of these guys, all they really want is a woman. They just want a woman. They want somebody they can love, man, straight up. At the end of the day, that's all they want. They're trying to figure it out. The dating landscape has changed so much in the past 20, 25 years. They're not having any results, any success. They're trying to figure it out.
But you don't think a lot of these dudes watch this stuff and it makes them even more jaded?
Some of them, yeah. I think some of them get more jaded. I do. I think
Because
some of them. I think some of them can see through it, and I think a lot of those guys like, well, let me go to the gym, let me get myself, let me build up my body, let me become more socially calibrated, let me work on my money. I think those are guys who take that message. I think they're dudes that like they get more jaded and then they go their own way. Those MGTOW guys, I'm just gonna go build a cabin in the woods, get off the grid.
Because I say that because I mean, like, you know, like I said, the only people I know to watch that stuff is you. You know what I mean? And that's it. You know, I ask a lot because I mean,
it's a very small community. It's a very small community.
I just worry that, you know, a lot of guys would be jaded by the stuff they hear. You know, I mean, yeah, it's rough out there. I'm sure it is. The game changes all the time. You know what I mean? The game probably, I'm sure our parents were like, man, this the shit that we was going through was craziness.
Right. This shit's like the Industrial Revolution, man. It went from buggies to goddamn Bugattis. You know what I mean? Like overnight, bro. That's how crazy this shit is. Now, Miss AKA ladies, like I've learned a lot too, and think differently. There's a lot of rage within men. There is. And they call that shit red pill rage. There's a big thing on that in the manosphere. They talk about red pill rage. And they put that on the dudes. That's why I'm always preaching. You need to keep control of your emotions, men. There's nothing more dangerous than an emotional man. We talked about that on the men versus males episodes we did. And what did you call them? You call them fucking nukes.
Yep. You know, man can turn to a nuke real quick. You know what I mean? Not even
destroy everything. Yeah, they can destroy everything, man. So it's one of those things, Miss AKA lady, unpopular opinion. As a mother, you have to set the first female example for your son. Don't act like a thought while raising them. Then be surprised when they don't know how to pick a faithful woman. God damn.
Yes.
Fucking facts.
That's just what was that cat Andrew something Walker? That's what he was saying. I mean, don't be. He said the same thing goes for women. He was like, you know, I don't bring women around my daughter. I don't bring a lot of women around my daughter like that. You know what I mean? Same thing women should be doing. Don't be bringing all them crazy dudes around your kid. You know what I mean? Thinking it's okay because he gonna do what he sees.
Miss Glow Girl is.
I'll say everybody thinks the kid. You know, kids see way more than they hear, and they hear a lot.
They hear a lot. They see a lot. They don't miss shit. Them kids, they on top of it. Miss Globe Girl, women don't believe they are high value because they're smashing a lot of men. That's a false narrative. It's the opposite. And my only pushback to that, my love, is this. Why then are they still fucking so many dudes?
Wait, hold up. I was gonna say, she's a woman. She's saying this.
Like, no, I'm just talking about the chick. I'm just like, why then? There's so many women out there right now. And again, this is just like the Manosphere red pill is a very small percentage. There are women out there who are like just city girls, right? All that stuff that Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B and all the others are talking about. Go out here, smash these dudes, hot girl summer, all this kind of stuff, right? They know, and this is my belief on that is women know that shit is wrong, but they're doing it. It's kind of like a herd mentality. It's like, don't do it. You know what I'm talking about, Jay Swans. You know what goes on.
There's a lot of dudes out there that they be doing stupid shit. I'm like, you ain't.
No, but I ain't talking about the stupid shit part. I'm talking about women know this. They're having smashing a lot of dudes. That's not good. So why do it? Why do it? That's all I'm saying. Dudes, of course, dudes are gonna be out there. Y'all know we think with the joystick. Come on now, you know what I mean. But women,
in my head, what I'm thinking right now, I think that some women may get into that mode because I don't know. Maybe it's a self-esteem thing. Maybe it's a power thing. I don't know. You know, people get, you know, their endorphins get up in all kinds of many different ways. So I'm not a woman. I don't know. You know, that would be, you'd have to ask a woman that, like, why would a woman continue to do it? Well, I guess that's what you did. So yeah, but nah, man. I mean, it's definitely a situation, and them chicks have always been there. You know, or even worse, the worst thing would be, you know, if they're gonna say I'm doing it, I'm just gonna do it anyway. You know, that kind of thing.
Right.
So, I mean,
and you and I talk about it all the time. It's just like, bro, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You shouldn't do that as a woman, especially women who want these top tier guys. Right? If you're with a man, you've got yourself a top tier guy, he takes you somewhere and you know he brings you somewhere, and let's say I messed with you when we was younger or whatever, a few years before we messed around, and you know me, shit, that dude might get rid of you.
Yeah.
That dude might get rid of you just that based on you having sex with one motherfucker he knows.
You know, and I want to sit here and say that a little boy cares about how much, who a woman was with last, you know what I mean? Which I agree with that. If you a man and you worried about who she slept with before you got other issues you need to worry about. But if he knows the guy, yeah, that's a hard one. I don't know if I could even get past that, because guys ain't right. You know what I mean? We'll take every opportunity to remind you, So I mean, and that's
a societal thing. Yeah.
That's even beyond that. That's just my thing. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't even, my wife could have been with somebody, years before we got married. I wouldn't want that dude around just because, just because. So,
could you imagine that dude's at the wedding? Hell no. Who was that?
Yeah,
Get him out of
exactly.
here.
But if I was to date a woman that, I don't know, she's from California, I'm from New York, we meet in Kansas, I'm not worried about who she slept with. You know what I mean? I'm not going to ask that question. Like, keep hearing about that body count shit. I'm not going to ask that question.
I don't give a shit about body count, but I'm from a different world. That's something, again, the Manosphere talks about that a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, ain't no such thing as a virgin anymore. I'm sorry, it is what it is, especially if you believe these numbers. So you can't be worried about body count. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, if you asking about that, you need to go ahead and move on. I mean,
you need to move on.
Look, don't worry about who she was with last night. Be happy she's with you. I mean, that's...
Or whatever. How does she carry herself? She's not carrying herself as such. It's fine. Like, she's an adult. You're an adult. This is the world we live in. It is what it is.
No
but
doubt.
if it becomes a problem, every other block y'all run across a dude and smashed her, well, you got a decision to make. You know what I mean? That's on you. But that has nothing to do with body count and more to do with how the individual carries themselves.
Exactly. There you go.
Miss Globe Girl, how about your views on single mothers changed because you matured based on life lessons and experience? Nah, it changed because I had a kid too. It wasn't the life lessons. It was just I was more willing to share my resources with a single parent when I had a child than I was when I was single. I wasn't going to do it, right? I mean, it's just one of those things. But I can see where you're coming from. But I don't think that was necessarily it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got Snuggle T in the house. Snuggle T. Snuggle's my favorite troll, so I call her Snuggle T now. The T's on there, the T identifier for troll. My favorite Snuggle T's in the house. What's good? I ain't proving nothing, Snuggle T. I don't know what you about to. You about to say some wild shit. So let me. You know what? We're never gonna get to this fucking video, man. Let me drop the link.
It's because you be putting all this stuff out there. I be confused by it. I gotta ask questions.
We ain't never gonna get to the fucking video, but I just dropped a link. I'm dropping a link for anyone who wants to join in and come on the panel, and share their thoughts.
Well, I'll tell you this though, man. You're the definition that when you talk about the red pill thing and the whole unplugged thing, and you generalize it, seems way better than the definition that I get from watching YouTube.
Yeah, a lot of stuff gets lost in the translation. It gets lost in the words. I mean, they use harsh words over here. I get that part. I push through that shit. It's a bunch of these dudes like to think they're in the locker room or whatever. It is what it is, man. But there is definitely a I see you, brother Hale. I'm about to pull you up in a second. There's definitely some good that comes out of the Manosphere. Is there some bad to come out of the Manosphere? Hell yeah. There's some bad to come out of the Manosphere, but there's some good that comes out of the Manosphere. And like I said, I've looked them in the eyes. These dudes that come up and they're thanking, Myron Gaines, and they're thanking Rollo Tomasi and thanking all these other guys for saving their lives, and they mean it. They're like, bro, I was gonna eat a bullet. What did you say, bro? I was gonna rent a gun and buy a bullet. Is that the term?
Exactly.
And then I'm gonna read this from Miss Globe Girl. I have The Art of War, but them other books that DL have, I don't know. But yes, I agree. Know the enemy because the Manosphere has claimed war against women. The Manosphere will argue that women have declared war against men. Do you see do you see where this is going?
Do you see how childish that shit sounds though?
Yeah. But here's the thing though. When they make their arguments on the Manosphere side, they're talking about how men get plowed in family court. They talk about like when there's a divorce, like the lack of human rights. Reproductive rights. You can't even argue that. You know what I mean? Like when this latest thing happened with Roe v. Wade, I was like, that's that. I think a woman should have the right to choose, but I think a man should have a right to choose as well, to an extent. And this is the kind of stuff that they talk about. Go ahead.
But you can't get mad at women because of the way the system is set up, though. You know what I mean?
I'm not. No. They're not mad at the way the system is set up. They're simply saying that the system needs to change, and they're telling men you need to adjust to the game. So they're not saying that you need to adjust to the game, right? That's why they say game frame, right? And find it like the money game frame. You need to understand the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring Brother Hayoka up here, man. What's good, brother? Welcome to the show. This is my man Jay Swans right here.
Oh man,
Hey, Swan, how are you today?
good.
How you both?
Hey.
Can I make one thing on Miss Globe Girl?
Yes, sir. Please go right ahead.
It's not that the Manosphere has claimed war against women. What it is simply this: it is a reaction to hypergamy, in a sense of saying that hypergamy is a mating dynamic that women have in place. All women have it. It means to marry up. So consequently, what happens is that before the internet, men were not comparing notes. So there was no way. You saw the pickup artists; they were writing books, but there was no widespread adoption or understanding of the dynamic that women were using for mate selection.
Okay. And now that we have you here, brother, can you give us your personal definition of the manosphere? And if you want to include, if you're going to talk about pills, you go ahead and throw that in there too if you want to.
Yeah, because I'm lost.
My personal definition of the manosphere is it is a reaction that men have because prior to the internet, men would pass down information from one generation to another, from father to son. When that went out the window, because a lot of young males are growing up without fathers nowadays. There's no resource for them to get information. You have the internet that a lot of people went through for information, and so the formation took place there. And this is in reaction to women doing or giving a lot of men red pill moments in their life, where before they didn't understand it. They thought that it was just about, oh well, she loves me for who I am, as opposed to the lifestyle that I provide. Or when you say alpha and beta and you say, well, alpha is based on desire. In other words, a woman will drop her panties for that because that's a genetic motivation. She's saying, I can have beautiful kids with this man. Whereas with a beta male, what happens is she's looking for provisioning because it's a dualistic strategy. So men didn't know about these things before. If you wanted something like that, it was far and in between. When's the last time you picked up a newspaper? Think about it. All that we used to get all the information through the newspaper years ago.
Yep.
A Thomas Guide. If you're below a certain age, you don't even know what a Thomas Guide is.
Yeah, I never would have made it through LA without Thomas Guide.
No doubt.
but would you use one nowadays?
Nah, I got GPS.
Yeah, no doubt.
Exactly. You would use the internet, which is what has happened.
Wow. So brothers, it's safe to say that you are red pilled or no? And here's my thing. When I say red pill, I use it as the Matrix term intended. I am aware and I accept what's going on. I am aware. So that's how I look at red pill. What are your thoughts?
I was listening to Miss AK Lady, I think, and she said a lot of men were angry. And I had a red pill moment because you look back and you review your life in relationship to understanding the red pill, and you realize that a lot of things that you thought, a lot of what you were looking at wasn't exactly what you thought. Just because you think it doesn't make it so. It just means you thought it. So as you pointed out, essentially it's men awakening to the dynamics of what they've been dealing with women. Women have always congregated and given each other information, whereas men, unless you were at the barbershop, which is like or something like that, stuff wasn't passed down. So now we have it passed down and we have a better understanding.
See, this brother right here, man, I'm telling you, he put me on game with AI, artificial intelligence, put me on game with the cybernetics. Jay Swans, you got any questions, you need to ask this brother right here.
Funny.
I'm just trying to, because, like I said, I met you real young. Like I said, I was 17 when we met. And, all the information I got was from the guys that we were around, So, I got stuff from my dad per se, but nothing that's, nothing as far. I think a lot of things I got, it was from watching, You know, I never had conversations with nobody. You know, I watched.
So,
And,
so essentially, you didn't have organized information. You had information.
yeah, I watched a lot. That's exactly it.
Nowadays, a lot of the information is organized.
But I mean, is it quality information?
Well, I can't speak for.
Oh, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I can't speak for what everybody's giving out, but to give you an example, it's like when DL showed the book, The Mystery Method. Yeah. Okay, anybody, if you were using that today and you were dressing up like Mystery did back in the day,
with the black fingernails and shit.
Yeah, you would look with the hat and everything. You would look buffoonish.
Okay.
You know, so when you say that you've been married for 25 years, okay, the game has changed since that time. The dynamics have changed. So, so you would. It's kind of like It's kind of like if you had a choice between a flip phone and an iPhone 14. You wouldn't choose the flip phone nowadays.
No.
A Motorola flip phone from back in the day, it wouldn't make any sense.
No, of course not.
That's right. And now we got brother Andrew in the house. What's good, bro? Thanks for popping on, man. You know what I mean? You know, I got no respect for you, man. So go ahead and rock it out.
Hello, salute again. You know, happy Labor Day, everyone. My thing is, I had to go back to the point you made about the dynamic in the relationships. The reality is, people have lost the ability to function in cohesive ways. People are too separated. They get immediate gratification through the apps and acquisition of knowledge and things that they desire. So the energies that you want to develop, they think you can just get it just as quick. We even have 3D printers, for God's sake. You can make things you want to get. When you enter into relationships, you have to set up the terms and dynamic. When you go into marriage, you have to treat it like a business. To me, love is number 4 on the list of what's needed in a marriage. You need loyalty, honesty, trustworthiness, and then love. That'll develop. Like myself, I find it hard. I would love to get women my age, but they can't have children anymore. I want to have one more child. That's my dynamic. I want that. I have a very solid foundation, the way my family set me up. So I've been blessed in that manner, It's just, what you guys feel in this situation, like in my situation. If you have, I was born on bedrock, so I always have that, steady foundation. So if I did want to have another child, I did want to have a relationship that I could build with someone. Am I wrong to go for someone that's a bit younger? What do you guys feel on it? I would love to hear what ladies feel on it.
I mean, you're not wrong for wanting anything you want. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you, man. If you want a bimbo, you know what I mean, it's gonna look good or whatever, you ain't wrong for wanting that. If you want a woman that's gonna be barefoot and pregnant, you ain't wrong for wanting that. If you want a boss baby who's gonna tell you what to do and that's the life you want to, she's gonna lay your clothes out for you ain't wrong for none of that, in my opinion. But I wanted the panel in particular, I wanted Brother Hayoka to address Ms. Globe Girl comment right here. Like I said, men have claimed slant wage war against women. What's your thoughts on that, brother, with respect to the war between the sexes?
Well, let's keep it honest.
Well, hold on. We'll let and Brother Andrew, you'll go after him.
Well, when you say waged war, what happens is that in sexual reproduction, in order for one to win, the other one has to lose. So really, what you're looking at is a biological situation. When you see single mothers with children, they've already made that child has their biology. When you want another man to take care of another man's child, he has no biological or economic investment advantage to it for him. But nevertheless, she chose the original father, and he moves on. So to some degree, it's when you say that there's a war, it's a biological situation because you want to get your genes into the gene pool. She's already got her genes into the gene pool. And what she did was she chose the most viable male that would fit her description of or parameters of what she would need in order to have a child. Okay. Now the other guy is coming along and she says to herself, well, listen, it's going to cost me roughly $250,000 minimum from 0 to 18 to take care of this child. Either I'll be in poverty if I'm not already situated, or I can get with this man. Well, it's a no-brainer at that point. And as far as you seeking a younger woman, what I would say to you is simply this, that there's a lot of strengths that come both ways. But you've already defined the fact that you don't want a woman who has chromosomal damage, which means within her 30, coming from 30, or 35 geriatric pregnancy, or 40 spontaneous abortions. So you've already defined an age group. Now the question is, does that woman have the qualities that the other qualities that you would be looking for? Hopefully that helps.
That does help. And then before Brother Andrew puts in his comment there, Ms. Glober also says any platform that brings forth progress is a good thing. Platforms that are disrespectful and toxic towards a group of people is pathetic. And I mean, can't disagree with that. But on the YouTube and other ways of getting information these days, internet and what have you, don't we need to filter out? Is it possible that this is going to be an extreme example? Is it possible that the KKK could say something, one good thing out of 1,000? Is it worth filtering out, or should we just ignore it all the way? And I know that's an extreme one. I want Jay Swans to hit that one up real quick, and then the brother Andrew, we're gonna turn it over to you.
Yeah, your KKK example, that's no good, because I'd be like, yeah, they can dump all that shit. But no, I mean, your audience. I mean, you're asking if the audience has the ability to filter out the good. Through
should
the
they
bad.
filter out the good? Because you look at a platform like Fresh
okay.
and Fit. Like there's a lot of negativity that goes over there, but there's also some men are getting some good shit out of there. But there's a lot of there's some stuff on there that needs to be filtered. I'm gonna be 100. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. And Ms. Globe Girl, is there should we throw the baby out with the bathwater? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I'll let Jay Swan give his response, and then Brother Andrew, you next.
I was gonna say, my sons are in that age group. They're in that age dynamic, so they're being exposed to this stuff. And part of it is because I'm asking them, what they think about it. And I guess a lot of it comes with, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. When I look at these things, if I Google something that you tell me about, I don't find the good in a lot of it. I find it to be, like she says, pathetic, really. I haven't seen the good in any of the stuff that you've told me to look at yet. That's just me. But my world is different. My bubbles are different. So I find those things offensive. But it's like anything else. Should you ban all books because one book is bad? No. Right. What you do is you teach people to, you teach, I mean, look, it comes down to this. We got to talk to these young men. These young men are out there just lost. And they can't look at other young men, and think, oh yeah, that's how I want to be. I want to be, this guy's a year older than me and he knows the game. He's hip on it. That's not what it is. We need to, find these young men and talk to them, expose them to this. I mean, like we do, like I said, whenever we go somewhere, we run into young men. We ain't out there, we lead by example. There you go. We lead by example. The things I talk about on here, that's literally how I live. What I mean? D will tell you, this is how I live my life. I don't filter nothing. I don't change nothing.
Ain't that the truth? So, Brother Andrew, man, what's your take?
Thanks, man.
Well, as a cognitive entity in this world and universe, I have to really listen to everything. And if I disagree with something so much, I should master and know those issues and points. Nothing is absolute, even the purest of metals.
There you go, yeah.
So, we have to take what we can take as a grain of salt. Politically, I'm a moderate. Just for the sole reason that I could see things that I agree with from both sides. I tend to lean more to the left, but overall, I'm a moderate because I absorb and I think about things. Most of us are in that range, give or take a little bit in life, We're not saying that all women are bad. We're not saying anything absolute. There are conditions that will be the exceptions to our rules and desires. But, that's just part of being a man, is adjusting to the world to make the best life that you can for yourself. I mean, I humbly acknowledge that. Sometimes it might not be the way I want it or come when I want it. But you know the old saying, never on schedule, but always on time. Things come to you at the right moment when you're prepared. I know that as a man, and I keep on saying this, as a man, I have to be prepared to receive. Like in business and everything else, you just can't want wealth. You have to prepare yourself to receive it and prepare yourself to handle it. Because the issue is when you get there, how are you going to maintain? And that's a whole other thing, whether it's relationships and everything else. I make sure I check myself. I get counseling. I want to make sure that I'm mentally fit to do certain things and handle certain things and be understanding to another person's needs, wants, and desires. I think that we have to, as society, really get into this more. And as Black people, I think sometimes we're too humble because we don't want to show what we really are. We don't want to show our differences. We tend to put down our educated people, and we kind of, what's positive sometimes we push down. Look at our music. They're great artists that don't curse, don't do this and that and everything else, and then we'll say they're not real enough when they have a message and they're positive. We do these things to ourselves as a group. We don't hold ourselves accountable for things that are just plain wrong. When we act, we celebrate some of the negative things as a group, or we allow people to showcase the negative things about us in a group. That's the whole thing.
All right. All right. Well said. Well said. And go ahead, brother Heyoka.
In relationship to what you were saying about the KKK situation and them giving you good information, I was always taught that your enemy will tell you the truth, knowing full well that you won't believe it because of the source. So you have to be very cautious.
Whoa. Hey, hold on.
Yeah, that's deep.
I got a button for that, bro. I got a button for that.
Hold up.
Say that again, please.
That your enemy will tell you the truth simply because you won't believe it because of the source from which it came. That actually happened in Japan, where one friend lied to the other, but because he knew that they were friends, he knew that he was lying, and so he didn't follow the advice. So what happens is that knowing the source, you might discard it outright, but that's not being aware. That just speaks to your prejudice, to your bias. So you have to take into account awareness in relationship to what's being said to you. Is it true? It very well may be. You just might not want to believe it. That's not the same thing.
Wow.
No, I never
You
thought
just
about
blew
that.
my damn mind. And we got a devil dog in the chat, man. Brother Marcus, what's good? Have you been praying?
Pray! This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
All the Marines pray like that. That's what I'm talking about. What's good, Brother Marcus? Yeah, that was, Brother Heyoka, you blew my mind with that, man. Absolutely blew my mind. And damn, thank you. Shit, I'm speechless. Somebody take over. I don't know what to say.
Just go through the chat then. Ain't got nobody else got nothing to say either. Nobody want to follow that.
Jay Swan, you pointed out something, like you said, your sons are growing up, but before they only had you to draw upon.
Mhm.
You guided them to adulthood. Okay. But nowadays there are other sources of information that we're comparing notes on that we didn't know before, we didn't even think about. A lot of times when it's kind of like, we're all mature men. A lot of times, that with women, you might see the shadow of substance. You might look, and you're all caught up in the glitz and the glamour and all that. But so you miss the other things, the important milestones or the red flags along the way, if there are some. So the thing about it is our way of thinking is a lot of times, and it's true, we think we love hard because we've loved our mothers. And we've loved those women in our lives like that so hard that we think that when another woman comes along, that's how she thinks. And that's not true. That's not true. It's, when I look at the fact that a woman will support you because you're taking care of her, you're supporting her.
Yeah, that's not true. Yeah.
Think about it this way. Jay Swan, you loved your mother and your mother loved you. What she did was for your survival. What your wife does is for her survival. I'm not trying to be funny. It's just the truth of it. And there's nothing wrong with that game if you understand it. But a lot of men don't understand it.
And that's the key. A lot of guys truly don't understand the situation that they're in. You know what I mean? They have been conditioned to believe the situation is different. And y'all know that Jay Swans and I are military guys, right? When we prepare to go to war, They don't prepare us for some idealized pie in the sky thing. They prep us for what we are going to encounter. And then they tell us, when you get there, it's going to be FUBAR. Right? It's going. This is not going to go the way we planned. We have trained you to be leaders. We have trained you to overcome, to improvise. And what's the mission, right? Mission always first. So we didn't prepare, not Jay Swans and I, but a lot of people haven't prepared for men for the situation that they find themselves in. And that's why they're running in droves to the Manosphere, to people like Andrew Tate, to people like Fresh and Fit. Go ahead, Brother Andrew.
Well,
I just want to add. I'm sorry. I just want to add to this real quick. What I like and what I admire is the fact that we have to now teach our people how to discern things better. You're supposed to. We have a day and age where we have so much information thrown at us, we don't know where to look. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have that role model or set of role models in the same house at times to help teach them how to discern things. So we kind of have this global tribe that's throwing different things at you, and then you try to create your own, I guess, religion, because religion is routine. You know, it's just, I don't envy young men of this day and age, because it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, cubed. You know, it's just a whole new thing. You get criticized for certain things. Now you have to be mindful of how you greet someone. Gone are the days of saying, hello, sir, hello, ma'am. You might hurt someone's freaking feelings. It gets annoying. So right now, it's just think about things we didn't have to think about back in the day. Now you have to think on a basic greeting. You have to reteach how to have manners, how to present things in this world. You know, you have to try to be understanding. And with people like us at our age range, I'm 46, I have to bite my tongue and grimace 90% of the time when I'm looking at people sometimes, because I can't even shake my head, because I'm going to show certain things that might come off prejudice or bias. It's very stressful. And when young men try to assert themselves now, they're being told, in particular black males, that they're too dominant or they're too domineering or they're bullying, because they might come off stronger naturally. They might be bigger naturally, or they might just be too aggressive. You know, sometimes I think we cower sometimes as a base where that shouldn't be. And I'm beginning to see it in a lot more males.
I got to push back just a little bit on that. I don't think that young guys are being told that they're just being given shoved pills because they have too much energy. They're giving them labels and they're giving them medication and making them sit still. But I think dudes are just boys aren't allowed to be boys. Men aren't allowed to be men. Like we say this all the time. If you've never been punched in the mouth, bro, I'm sorry, you can't roll with me. You can't roll with me. So that's the only pushback I have about that part of your statement.
I got a quick thing. Let me make sure I understand all this. So, so are you guys trying to say that young men going into relationships should always be on guard? Let me make sure I just understand that first. I mean, I'm giving it the short version of it, but are saying that young men should go into relationships always on guard?
Brother Andrew first, then Brother Hayoka, and I'll go last.
All right.
Well, there's a difference between on guard and aware and vigilant. You know, you guys are soldiers. You must always be vigilant and aware of your surroundings and environment to which you will be entering. So unfortunately, you have to be on your toes. Anyone could be played out. So you have to be aware of whom you bring into your environment, what's going on at all times, and know what you're willing to give or what you could afford to give. You have to do this because this world is very unforgiving. You have to know what your values are and what you're going to tolerate. And sometimes you have to be upfront with it and stand by it. I think that's what we have to do, whether you're a man or a woman. You have to have certain terms set forth so you have an understanding. So there's no surprises. At least that's the way I feel it should be, because there's too much room for error in this world. You know, we used to be the old mannerism, up, down, left, right. Now you got all these different angles, all these different buttons. Everything got more complicated in this world. You know, you have to protect yourself, because if you go in the wrong direction, you'll suffer. If you have children with the wrong person, you will suffer. And this is an extended period of time you go through this. And the emotional damage is very hard to recover from.
Outstanding. Brother Hayoka.
Well, two things. I agree with the awareness thing, but for you, DL, since you have The Art of War, you might want to look up the 36 Stratagems, which is a really good book, a really old book, very, very much akin to that. but the Chinese have used it for centuries in both business and war and in life. And in relationship to young men growing up nowadays, because there's such a number of men growing up without fathers, the only source of income of information that they have is either their mother or another man or the internet. Well, if the man is available, because remember, he has to live his life too. So I would say to you like this: when you're looking at nowadays things being changed, one of the things you would say is simply this: is that women have always passed on information, like I said earlier. Men, we've passed it down, but because we weren't in a home, especially nowadays, you're left adrift. So you either adapt or you don't. And like you said, a lot of us are getting what would you term toxic masculinity
Yeah,
in
that's
young male children, even though biologically they know that males will explore the environment more than women, and women will be more social. But the push is to make men get in touch with their emotions, and it's not to say that we don't have emotions, but it is to say that we keep them under wraps, because showing emotions among one another isn't isn't helpful in a lot of situations. It clouds the first casualty of emotion is reason. And so what happens is, among males, we're problem solvers by nature. And so if I'm sitting next to a man, you think about it this way: for those who've been in the military, if you were sitting up there and you were in a critical situation, and the guy next to you uh, discombobulated into a blob of emotions, what would you do? He would
that
be
guy got a
useless
problem. He got a serious problem. He better square his shit away right now, right now. You know what I
right
mean?
now.
Otherwise, he going home in a bag.
Because it could take you with them. The same thing has happened through all these centuries of hunting, of being out in the woods and having to go and bring back food. It's not a new thing. If you were out on a hunt and the same thing happened, guess what? You could be in trouble, or you could lose the hunt. You could take everybody down with you. So the false equivalence is simply thinking that men in therapy should be related to like women, or that the way we relate to the world is the same, and it's not. So the young men have to be taught.
Okay.
That's my take
All
on
right.
it.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
what's up.
That makes
And
okay.
then real quick, Jay Sponge, just give me 1 second. Miss
Yeah.
AKA Lady or Miss Globe Girl, if y'all could, it would be wonderful to have a female point of view on this panel. If y'all could, you don't have to cam up. You could just, you know what I mean, just want to hear your voice. Go ahead, Jay Swans.
No, I was going to say, and the thing about the not being able to, discern a man thing. I can't remember who your name was, brother. And being able to communicate like that. I will agree with you in the sense that young men, it's becoming more and more difficult for them to behave like young men in school.
It's not acceptable to be a young boy
in
anymore.
school, but once again, I've raised two young men now, and I've never had an issue with either one of them, addressing someone as sir and man, which they do on a regular basis. That was part of their upbringing, was to address them as sir and man. Even though we have these pronouns going on and all this and all that going on in society, even when they've been wrong about that, there's never been any pushback. As far as being acceptable, being who you are, being able to show, I guess, rage or whatever it was as far as a man. I'm a big guy, and I've been taught my entire life. Like I've always been, the biggest kids in class. When I went to basic training, I was the biggest kid in my platoon. When I went to the unit, I was one of the bigger guys when I showed up. And I've never, I've been taught my entire life that I have to maintain that, because everybody gets intimidated. And if I respond the way that I want to sometimes, and D knows this, it could be a problem for everybody. If I decide I want to do something, there's very few people that can stop me. And so I have to be aware of that all times. And our young men out there have to be aware of that. That's why I've said that thing: a man's emotions is like a nuclear bomb. If a man loses it, it's a problem. That's something that we need to be taught. We can't behave. Like my wife and I, we have different ways of dealing with things. When we get upset, we argue like everybody else. You know, I get emotional just like she does, but she is that one person that knows how to temper that with me.
But even when you say that, bro, it's not in person. You know what I mean? Like, and y'all want to know how I feel about, you know, man stuff? This is how me and shit act.
Jesus Christ, be a man. Push it down. Push it down. Deny your feelings. Act like you have answers. Do some man shit right now.
And we, you know, it's funny because you and I have had that exact conversation. We've had that exact conversation. But, you know, like any other creature, there are times when you need to get that out. You need a space to do it. All right. You know, no man is an island. Okay. You need to get that stuff out sometimes. You need to have those. And so, I mean, it's just finding a time and place. I don't know if the internet is the place to go look for that. You know, even when my father, you know, my parents divorced, I had lots of people around me, lots of men around me that I looked to. I was looking and seeking leadership, but I looked at people that had the things that I wanted. You know, I didn't just look to people that, you know, I looked for people who had things that I wanted. And I tell DL this all the time. The reason I have my sons reach out to him, the reason he is my son's godfather, okay, is because I seen him things that, like I said, I know him like you guys don't know him. So I know what he's about. I know what he is. And I know he'll do the right thing. Whether it's against what he believes or not, he'll still do the right thing for my sons. And I think that's what we need to look for in this, I guess, Manosphere thing. We need people like that.
Well, and I wanted to ask you guys this question too, man. You know, Brother Michael's in the house. What's good? Day one of my day ones up in here. Thank you. To your point, I don't care where you get the help, just so long as you get the help. And like, you know, a lot of people say, well, the Manosphere says you have to be a man, and like Bill Burr said, push it down, do some man shit. No, the Manosphere simply states, you know, if you should rely on your tribe as a man. Try not to be emotional in front of the girl you're trying to date, not your wife, but the girl you're trying to date. You want to be stoic. Now, here's the thing with that. I know how strong this brother is in the box next to me. And if he will confide in his wife, and it has served him well for the better part of 30 years, 25 years, I think it is, right? So I can't say that, nah, man, don't be emotional to your wife. That's not going to help you.
Yeah.
And because in his case, it absolutely helps him. But
we talked about this, though. I wasn't like that the entire time of the relationship. You know,
it had to be earned.
Yes, that's something you have to earn. Yes, definitely.
It had to be earned. So my thing is this: if the Manosphere, if the red pill world, the Manosphere world can help one dude become a better man, then I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Now, go ahead.
Well, hold on. I was going to say also, not all help is good help.
That's true.
You know what I mean? All help is not good help, and it's up to the individual to filter through that. You know what I mean? I say everybody ain't got your, you know, they're not looking out for you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys out there just looking to make some money. Okay. And they'll tell you what you want to hear to make some money. Like them guys that do that whole, give me $10,000, I'll let you submerge in a bucket of ice. You know what I mean? They ain't trying to help you.
And what he's talking about, there are people out there, like we're former military, and there are people out there who want that Navy SEAL training style
they think it makes
experience.
Them tough.
It thinks it makes them tough, and they pay tons of money. Like you said, they'll pay $10,000. You make them sit in a bucket of ice. They almost get hypothermic. Then you have them run around or whatever, and they pay for that. Is that helpful? No. I'm not going to lie to you. That's not helpful. There's a reason the military trains the tip of the spear guys the way that they do, because they're filtering out folks that are going to quit. That's all that's about.
Yeah,
they're looking for quitters.
Nothing to do make you tougher. Ain't nothing to do about making you tougher.
Yeah, you'd be surprised what you can endure. Brother Andrew, you look like you have something to say.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, I'll just say that your friend to your right on the screen, I tell you, I admire you for having relationships so long. I mean, DL, if you could ever do get a group of guys and women that have relationships that they've learned to develop, those things are very interesting to me. That's listening to you guys. And the other gentleman to my right, you know, guy over this way. I'm very, you know, you know, I'm intrigued on how your dynamic is in your relationships. I'd love to know and pick your brains in the future to know what works and what doesn't work. You know, I'm a little distracted a little bit because it's carnival here, so you see people half naked. So forgive me, so my eyes wandering a little bit. But it's just, you know.
Get that camera. I want to see.
Turn the camera a little bit. Let us all get a
I want to see. Quit being stingy. There you go.
It's 25 years like just one.
So brother Hayoka.
Let's get a little bit of that cookie. Come on now.
So brother Hayoka, what is your take overall on the Manosphere, bro? Is it a net good, bad? Is it neutral? What are your thoughts?
You know, my wife looked at me and told me, she said, well, if you're going to be in the Manosphere, I want you to have an equal view on this. You there?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we have you.
So I follow Nyla, Cynthia G. But I also follow Rolo and a bunch of other people in the Manosphere. I would tell you that to me, I do think like this, that you would not have the reaction that you have among men or the manosphere if you didn't have the internet, and if where men were comparing notes, and if you didn't have a situation where for a very long time men didn't know. This is where as Miss AK Lady pointed out, I think earlier, that men have a lot of rage because they've lived their entire lives under the illusion of thinking one thing when in actuality it was another. And so you can't, as you've all pointed out, you have to be aware. You can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. But it is important to know that to give you a classic example. Okay, you know that, and I didn't know it, that when a woman is on her mens, okay, she's much
just gonna leave the screen now, brother.
Hey, hold on before we get into it. Brother Andrew has to go, man. Thank you so much for popping in, Brother Andrew. Your opinions are always welcome here, man. Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming up. Talk to you soon.
Take care, guys.
Peace. And Brother Helke, yeah, Jay Swans had to run because he sometimes he's just a big old punk, big old soft piece of cotton with his big punk ass. You know what I mean? He got scared. But continue with what you were saying. So Brother Helke, continue with what you were saying, please.
Much less likely to be. Whereas when
we got you now,
she's ovulating, she's partying, and so what happens is a significant proportion of babies are had by the Brads and the Chads while she's ovulating, and the Betas at home waiting for her to come back home when she needs somebody who's a provider.
We might have lost Brother Helke right at a good part.
That's because Michelle Obama kicked him off.
No, he's back now. We got him.
Say, well, I thought on the women, but the thing about it is that
he's cutting in and out. We're gonna have to let him know he's cutting in and out.
Yeah.
And he's talking about, but right now he's really talking about that alpha seed beta need part of the equation, that hypergamous or that female dating strategy. Brother Helke, can you hear us? We lost you there for a second. Yeah, we lost him. I'll pull him down. He'll figure it out. So,
yeah, bro. I heard menstrual, and I went ahead and just before I look. That's
he
all.
Started running.
Run away. I stay married. Janae told me that I need to get up. And she ain't even in the room. She told me I need to get up.
You heard that? It was like, oh, this place, he's falling back to the rally point. And let me see if he came back real quick. Brother Helke, can you hear me? We lost you there for a couple times. We lost your audio.
Nah, he might be gone, bro.
Yeah, I think we might have lost him.
I know where he is. We get weather up here, bro. It's storming up here.
Yeah, so but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that. I personally think that if you could get the information, like Jay Swan says, not all information is good information. Not all help is good help. But like Brother Don 007 was saying, you have to chew the meat and spit out the bones. Like take the good and discard the bad. Brother Helke, you good?
Trying to get back in. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We got you now. So all we heard was about it was about the Bayers staying home. And then we lost you.
And we lost him again.
We might have lost him again.
Well, period. She doesn't want to go out. She wants somebody. You lost me again?
You good now? We got you.
She doesn't want to go out and party. Yeah, she wants to stay home. So a lot of men think and get caught up and say, well, why does she leave for 2 weeks and then she comes back? Well, she's coming back because her cycle is bringing her back. Whereas the rest of the time she wants to party. That's happened to a friend of mine. So the thing about it is that we don't see it because of the rhythm that they have. But because of the manosphere, what happens is a lot of things take place where we get that information where we wouldn't have otherwise had it.
Okay,
I ain't got
so
nothing
so
for
it's an
that.
overall. It might be a good thing. Brother Ness is saying I only think Manosphere looks bad because it deals with bad environment. You won't need a Manosphere in a good place. And I think that goes with that Disney fairy tale pie in the sky. I mean, it is what it is. The situation on the ground, I think it makes the need for a Manosphere viable, in my opinion. Like these, like Brother Hayako was saying, these guys have not been properly prepared for the situation that exists today. And Jay Swans, would you agree with that, or you think I'm talking shit right now?
I think you're just talking shit. I mean, look, I think it's this, man. I think if brothers spent less time trying to figure out what women think about and more time thinking about how to better themselves, like you talked about earlier, I think we'd be in a better place. I think that's part of the problem.
There's a part of the Manosphere that teaches that.
Yeah, stop worrying about what women think. I mean, seriously, you'll kill yourself trying to figure that out. Women want what women want. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Women want what women want. Women do what they gonna do. And if you sit there and try to chase it, man, it's like trying to grab air. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen. Don't stress over it. Just do your thing. If a woman wants you, she'll be there. Your thing. If a woman wants you, she'll be there.
Yeah, and we
you
hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, we had a little technical issue, y'all. Brother Hale, can you
hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? We can hear you now.
Yeah,
yes,
but
sir, we can hear you now.
But the question would be is simply this: if you did get rid of the Manosphere, you'd still have a female mating dynamic. It wouldn't change that.
No.
So even though you might say, well, listen, why do we need the Manosphere? At the same token, you still have the dynamic of female reproductive strategies. And if they would work against you, ideally as a man, you would want your dynamic to work for you, as opposed to somebody trying to get rid of your dynamic. But you can go back to ignorance if that's what you would want. You just have to ignore the Manosphere if that's what you want.
What's he talking about? Who said ignore the Manosphere?
We missed a lot. We missed a lot of that because you had cut out.
Yeah.
There was a comment where saying, what do we need the Manosphere for?
I don't know who said that.
Brother Ness was saying,
no.
I only think the Manosphere look bad because it deals with bad environment. You won't need a Manosphere in a good place.
And so you would still have the female dynamic of reproductive strategies that men would not be in a position to counter. It wouldn't change it.
Oh, okay.
That's a good thing. And I think did somebody mess with Miss Globe Girl? Don't leave. What happened?
No. I think she's talking about my man when he mentioned the women's menstrual cycles and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So it's like exactly that's what women will do. Cut your ass off the live. Bye.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That's why she's my favorite song.
I think the Manosphere would benefit instead of having guys tell you what they think women are thinking. You know what I mean? Some women to have, their views on there and have some honest views, not the views trying to get the likes and that such, just some real honest opinions.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Sometimes it's really hard to get the truth out of people, especially women. They don't want to be painted in a certain light. You know what I mean? So Brother Vikings in the chat. What's good, Brother Vikings? Welcome. I always say when you really understand women, you won't be mad anymore. The guys I see mad all by the lies or mad they got lied to, and it's good. It's kind of tied back, right? But they don't understand the situation. They don't get it. I was told to be a gentleman. I was told to bring flowers. I was told to, pay for a $1,500 meal. And none of this worked. And then she took it. Yeah, she took it. I take it. You want to take me out for a helicopter ride? Let's go. Can we ride in that? Yeah.
Make it simple. You know what I mean? If you give someone an opportunity, they're going to use you. Bottom line.
Man or woman.
I mean? So be aware of that. I mean, that's all. I mean, but trying to sit there and analyze everything. Well, she looked at me like this. What does that mean? I mean, you drive yourself crazy. Or the guys that ask that question. I never understood this. Why a man would ask a woman, why are you with me? Like, I don't understand that. And I know guys that have done that. I mean, why would you ask that question? Just be happy she didn't hear that.
Wait. Who the hell asked that question, bro?
Your boy Russ. Yeah, we had that discussion. Actually, Rock did that shit too. I was like, Rock, don't you ever.
Man.
Don't you ever.
Fellas, don't do that. But it does boil down to confidence. It does boil down
Just
to
put their
other
names out
things.
there. My bad.
Yeah. It does boil down to those things. Like we keep losing Brother Hayoka to the
Got some
to the
bad
Matrix.
Wi-Fi, bro.
I think there's a bad Wi-Fi or the AI is trying to get his ass. Yeah, Casual Germs in the house was good, Brother Ness, except if she on them pills, though. You know what I mean? That's crazy. We got you back. Brother Viking, the Manosphere is a symptom of the bigger problem.
I am so
You know
sorry.
what I mean? What's that?
That last statement, bro. Like he trying. He wonders why I can't get no girl. Go through the chat.
Maybe.
Go through the chat,
Brother,
bro.
yeah. Yes, only take the self-improvement part seriously since the women part is so different depending on the environment. I don't know, Brother Hayoka, you think it's different, or do you think there are common traits that almost all women share, like most women share, or would you say it is an individual thing?
I can't get no girl. Oh, bro, you got the echo going again, man.
Yeah, you got the echo going again, bro. I'm gonna pull you down for a second, man. Let me know if you can pop back in, or just put it in the chat. You know what I mean?
Hey, this is a good question, though.
Yeah, Miss Globe Girl, what does the Manosphere think about chivalry? They like to talk about how things used to be in the past. So the term that they use, what you hear a lot, is chivalry is dead and feminism killed it. Right? So the guys in the Manosphere, right? They would love to be chivalrous. They would love to take long walks in the park and have this woman. They want to be in relationships. The problem is, because of trial and error, the problem is that when people do it that way, Ms. Globe Girl, when they go out and they are the quote unquote good guy, they get burned. Why do they get burned? Because they don't understand social cues, nonverbal cues. They go after the wrong chick, right? And then they lead with their wallets and they're doing all this kind of stuff. And you run up on the wrong person, man or woman, they gon' famoose your ass. So the Manosphere would love to be chivalrous. The Manosphere says that you should pay for date. If you ask a woman out, you should pay for the date. You should open the doors for her. You should pull a chair out. They say all these kind of things, right? But they also say you better make sure you're doing that with the correct woman. Don't go do all these things with the wrong woman because your results are going to be poor. Right, but they'll also say your first date shouldn't be some expensive date. Yo, Jay Swans, what did we do? Ice cream dates. Ice cream dates. We kept our dates cheap up front.
Yeah.
We want to see who we dealing with. Who is this chick?
Ice cream and go for a walk.
Let's go for a walk. I'm gonna take this girl out. Go ahead.
Let me get this. So, I've taught my sons to be chivalrous, both of them. Okay, I've taught them to be chivalrous. I've taught them to respect all women. Okay. But I say this all the time, but you only treat certain ones. You only treat them special ones like queens, but you're respectful and you're chivalrous to all women. Okay, I've taught them that. But I've also taught them that you will have your heart broken one day. Okay, it is going to happen. All right. And the way you don't deal with that by getting mad at every woman because one woman broke your heart. You don't do that to every woman. Okay. I've taught them that this is going to come. I've made them aware of that. But they also are aware that chivalry is not dead. I mean, it's, because, DL and I talk about this, about holding doors for women. That's the one, we use the most. And I hold the door for women all the time. And I don't hold that door looking for something back from them. I'm just holding to be polite. Now it's up to them if they want to say something nice or whatever. Now, what I'm not going to do is hold the door while she's on the phone with somebody and standing in the doorway and bringing a whole bunch of different things. I ain't doing that. I'm not going to let you take advantage of me. And I think there's a difference. There's being chivalrous and there's allowing someone to take advantage of it. And I think that's where a lot of guys get confused at least from what I see in this Manosphere red pill stuff.
Yeah. So, Brother Hayoka, if you're with us, what are your thoughts on that chivalry? We lost him. Damn. I'm pretty sure he would have a good take. Brother Hayoka, man, I really do appreciate your takes on this, man. Very well spoken, brother.
Yeah, definitely.
Smart ass dude. You know what I mean? Salute to you, bro. So Ms. Globe Girl, here's my thing on that. I love women. I love everything about women, right? But I have to check myself because the world we live in today, it's not smart for me to be chivalrous. I mean, I sit there and I'm like, but it's almost as if you're putting a target on yourself for all those dark people to come shooting at you. And
wait, Okay, why is that? Like, I mean, what's wrong with if you hold the door expecting something in return? I mean, I guess you could feel like you're a target, but if you're just holding the door just to be polite and you're not expecting a thank you or whatever, I don't see what's wrong with that. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
the fact that they're not thanking you, that's their problem, not yours.
That's a good point. But we just being 100 here. Like, I don't, when I see a woman who has that look like you better, or you don't hold the door open for them and they say something, side out, they say something under their breath. I'm like, come on, I thought we were equal. You know what I mean? So it's one of those kind of things that's like, they want to be, they want to be equal at times, and then they want to be women at times. And it's like, I don't know, it's crazy. Brother Hayoka is back with us, man. What are your thoughts on chivalry today?
The thought is that originally chivalry wasn't even for the purpose that we're looking at right now.
What do you mean by that?
Chivalry was between knights.
Yeah.
It wasn't a relationship to women. It got changed to that. So when you say being chivalrous, you live in the age of Me Too. And I can do that by myself. It's not like it was when you were growing up.
Wow. So we get that. So the original term came from knights of old. It kind of morphed during the height of the gentleman era, when the guy take off his glove and smack you across the face and be like, I demand satisfaction, which meant these dudes would die on a hill over honor. Right? To now, like you said, the Me Too movement, like, is it even worth it? So what are we doing? Like, I don't even know, man. So Miss Globe Girl, what's your take on chivalry these days? Like, what should a man do to be chivalrous? I'm just curious, Miss Globe Girl. And I would love it if you would come up and I would love to have a female point of view. We got these guys up here talking all this big shit, but we ain't got no women to kind of bounce these ideas off of.
I mean, my thing is, I just don't see a problem. I mean, like I said, I've raised my sons, treat all women with respect. That's what it comes down to, and holding a door is respectful to me. I mean, it's something I do. I don't do things for women, outside of the norm that I require, response from. I just do it because it's how I was raised. It was the right thing to do.
Yeah, and I want to address this right here, and this could be the dark side of chivalry, like from an attractive woman's point of view. Miss Globe Girl says, when someone holds the door for me, I simply smile and say thank you, and they ask how are you today. Chivalry accepted all day, every day. It's accepted all day. But here's the downside to that. If it's a weirdo who's holding the door open, and he gets that little bit of attention from a beautiful woman, now she can't shake his dumb ass because he's all weird. He's gonna go 100% weirdo on her, and it makes it bad for everybody. It makes it bad for everybody else. That's why dudes need to stop being weird. But man, no, if I were to see a woman like Miss Globe Girl coming out, open the door, hold the door open, she says thank you, that does feel good. I ain't gonna lie to you, that does feel good. And this is like my male chauvinistic thing that comes out. If you a big woman, like real big, and you too many steps behind, I ain't trying to hold the door open for you. But if you kind of fine, I think you kind of sexy, I might linger just a little bit longer to hold the door open for you. And that's wrong. I'm working on it, people. I ain't perfect. All right? I'm admitting it. That's wrong. It should be across the board. It shouldn't matter how you look. None of that should matter. And I'm definitely working on it. But no, has that happened to any women who might be in the chat? Have like some guy done something nice and you were, cordial and thanked him, and then you can't shake him? You know what I mean? He's like Pepe Le Pew. You know what I mean? He's trying to chase you down. And Brother Hayoka, you got anything you want to add to that?
My question is that when you went to open the door, did somebody look at you and tell you, "Listen, you don't need to be opening doors for me. I can do it myself"? How would you react to that?
I've only had that happen once.
I've never had that happen.
Only once. I was in LA, bro. Only once. You know what I mean? And it was, I kept it moving. I didn't even say nothing. I just kept going. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was. I tell you what, I didn't hold up any doors for like the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Exactly. I've never had that happen ever.
Only once.
Yeah.
Right. But go ahead.
But we know that happens today. It may have never happened to you, but think about it this way: you have to look beyond just your situation If you know that this is a situation that's happening today, you know that a relationship to your 25 years of marriage today is the same situation.
Yeah.
Huh? Wait, hold on. I couldn't understand.
I get where it comes from. Like what we it's like I'm always telling you, you got to come out of come out of your own personal lens. This simply because it's not happening to us doesn't mean it's not happening. There's dudes that deal with this shit.
Okay, yeah, but that argument, I mean, weird stuff happens all the time. You know, I mean, but that doesn't change, you know, the behavior that you should show towards someone. You know, I mean, there's negative people out there in the world. They exist. You know, that's the reality of it. But you know, you still keep doing what you do. You know, I mean, you just do what you do. Like I said, this is how I was raised. You know, I don't do things for people to, you know, for accolades. I do things because it's what I do. It's how I was raised.
Yeah,
and that's how I raised my children.
Yeah, and times are definitely changing. Brother Griot's, I mean, I agree with what he's saying here. I say chivalry was mostly killed by women. The key difference between now and then is that now we live not for honor but for power, because back then there was more honor in having a family versus being thoughts. Yo, man, that's well said, bro. Think times have changed. Like, you know, that's the thing, I believe.
Really? You believe that? You believe there's more honor in being a hoe than there is in
No, he's saying there's more honor in having a family versus being a thought. Now people are placing more prestige, more clout on being a thought, being an Instagram model, being a gimmick Chad. I think that what he is saying is what he is saying, and what I'm agreeing to is that it should be more like it was in the past. It should be more honor placed on men like you, who have families and did it the right way, as than being placed on these dudes out here who just smashing these thoughts, these 304s all day, every day.
I would argue that there is more value placed on that, because I really believe a lot of these guys out there doing all that, this is what they want. They want that stable relationship. They want to be able to come home to somebody and have a bad day. You know, they want a family. I believe most guys really do want that. I think it's easier to relate to someone who, you know, who's in your situation. You know what I mean? It's easier to, yeah, that's right. You know, this how these hoes be acting. Yeah. That's it. I agree. I think it's easier to do that than it is to struggle to maintain a relationship.
Well, I think Ms. Globe Girl won the conversation. She said, pleasant conversations have occurred when a man opens the door. That's all. Can't argue that. And if that's the case, I hope that's the thing. That's what y'all won this round. Y'all won. Because I still hold the door. Brother Hayoka, you were saying something?
What I would ask is, when Ms. Globe Girl said, pleasant conversations have occurred when a man opens the door, that's all. I'm like, is that all? That's a euphemism? But anyway,
Oh shit! Shots fired, yo! Shots are fired. Hold on. Here we go. Get some.
Get some.
But I mean, there's a lot of that going on, bro. I mean, I can see both sides. You know what I mean? Like the landscape has drastically changed, and we're talking about the Manosphere. All these discussions are being had within the Manosphere. The good, the bad, and the horrific. It's all being had in the Manosphere, and I think it boils down to individuals, you know, being able to filter through and get what they want. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people want the bad shit. They want the pickup artistry shit. You know what I mean? Some of them want to go MGTOW. Some of them, you know what I mean? And then there are guys out there who are truly trying to better themselves so they can get themselves in a good relationship with a good woman. I think we all agree that that's what most dudes want. But they're having so much trouble getting that. And a lot of that can be, you know, attributed to hypergamy and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I think overall the Manosphere can be a good thing. I think it can be. Is it a good thing for everybody? No. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
When Jason was coming up during the 25 years, was there a situation where he realized that, to give you an example, out of the men who take paternity tests, 30% of them, that is not their child. That's among the men that took the test, not overall. Now, now, years ago, you would have never even had that as an issue because you would have never known. Most men don't want to take care of another man's child.
But I think a lot of men would do it. Yeah, but paternity, a lot of men would do it if that meant they got to stay with that woman. So it's kind of, and that gets into that whole simp culture and all that. Brother Doug was saying, I'm with Jay Swans on this one. I still practice chivalry. That's how I was raised. It's just a habit. I'm not looking for anything in return. Looks like you won today on this one, bro.
I mean,
you know what I
just
mean?
is
And
what it
brother
is,
Hayoka,
man.
Brother Hayoka has a good point. I mean, that's something to fear, right? And then going back, tying it back to like that. Well, it's like this kind of men get treated a certain way and kind of discarded. If you were with a woman, this woman leads you to believe that that's your child, and you're thinking that's your child, and then you only to come to find out maybe 5-10 years later that that's not your child, that this woman has been lying to you.
Oh yeah, be pissed.
What happens to the but legally what happens to the woman? Nothing. You know what I mean? And a lot of people get mad at that. Those are not arguments. Those conversations are happening in Manosphere as well. And people are like, well, that's whatever, that's crazy. These women should be this, that, and the third. But that's not the way it is. So you got people in Manosphere like, well, that's on you, bro. You chose the wrong one. You know what I mean? You get what you. That's what happens.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it is interesting because I didn't realize this until my youngest son was born. That when he was born, the hospital wouldn't tell us, didn't tell us the blood type. They just didn't do it, and I didn't realize it until like later on.
That was the reason why, because that could lead to more questions, which could lead to a DNA test.
And but once again, I never worried about it because that was my wife. You know what I mean? I had that.
You weren't worried about paternity because again, that's your wife. That was
and the way she carried herself was not someone. You know what I mean? Like I said, we went. She didn't carry herself like that. Now I could have been wrong. Could have got caught.
No, you couldn't have been wrong.
But individual results would vary, right?
Right. Individual results would vary. Yes.
So I mean, it happens, and hey, once again, like I told my sons, you're gonna get your heart broke. It's gonna happen. It's how you respond to it, which determines, your manhood.
And Jay Swan's in the chat, like Brother Nelson saying, it doesn't matter how they look at all. Take it all away and be chivalrous to to guys or whatever. So,
which is interesting because like I said, when I say that, man, when I look up this stuff online, like I said, I've only been looking really the last couple of days since you talked about doing this, and I don't get that. I don't get the chivalrous stuff, I guess, for lack of a better term. It seems like they're trying to get away from that because they talk about feminism and it's dead and that sort of thing. Women don't want that from you, disrespectful.
Men look at results and they want to get good results. And if you go out there, everyone says that, bro. Everyone it can hear my voice can finish this line, right? Good guys finish.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And that's what and the manosphere is like, look, bro, y'all need to understand this. Don't be the good guy. Don't be the asshole, but don't be the good guy. Vet the woman. Make sure she earns it. Make sure she adds value, right? And then go out, like you say. If you're gonna simp for your wife,
well, I was gonna say,
that significant other,
that good guy shit. I mean, because we've talked about that before. I'm a firm believer the good guy finishes last. We've proven that many times. But the thing is, you got to be able to adjust on the fly. If you see something different, if you feel something different, you got to be able to adjust. And I think that might be where a lot of young men may fail. I mean, they're so locked in on one mode that when they have something that's special in front of them, they mess it up trying to be that bad guy. Like I said, with my wife, I mean, I wasn't actively like, I'm looking for wifey. You know what I mean? I was like, she bad. let me go over there and do my thing. Right. But once I realized there was something special about her, I had to adjust my tactic because she was not going to have that. I didn't want to bring that kind of negativity. I didn't want to bring the energy that being a player would bring to me. I'm
gonna push back on that because I was there. You did do that. You went all in, hardcore player mode.
Until I realized something was different, and then I changed it.
I just want to clean it up, just make sure, because I'm like, nigga, I was there.
I told you. I was all in. I was like, yo, let's go do this. You know what I mean? But until something was different, I realized something was different. I changed up. Midstream, changed my stroke. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think a lot of young men get confused. Is like, well, the manosphere says I got to do this. Well, not necessarily, bro.
The manosphere says a lot of things, and if you're looking for that, right? And if you're looking for that, you can find it in the manosphere. Yes. And go ahead, brother Hayoko.
Jay Swan, I agree with you in the sense of raising your son in a two-parent family household. The thing about it is, though, today a lot of households are single-parent female driven. So because they're female, because they only have the one parent, they don't have exposure to a male influence.
I agree.
So So unless you're going to replicate yourself across the world in some kind of strange way, it's not going to happen. So we have to work with what we have. And so so we have a repository of information that we can go through. Some of it's going to be, some of it, yeah, you're going to have to discard it. Some of it is going to be extremely useful. But if you didn't have it at all, then you would be at a dearth. There would be nothing there for you. So,
I'll agree with what you're saying, because I'm sitting back and I'm thinking now, like, even if I didn't have the men I had around me, that even the stuff on TV that I was watching was positive male role model type stuff. You had the Cosbys, you had 227, you had Martin as I got older, and I emulated a lot of my life, thinking about it after those guys. I mean, we used to walk around the base talking about "Give Me Love," with the brothers, all that. So yeah, I see what you're saying, man. I definitely see what you're saying.
And Brother Viking saying, I don't mind rude folks. Oh, go ahead, Brother Hayoka. Go ahead.
The same thing has happened among women, in the sense of saying that they've looked at a lot of these Disney movies and they're looking for Prince Charming, and they have these standards on the basis of a Disney movie. One of the things that when you look at the Tinder Swindler, she says it was like a movie.
Yep.
It was like a Disney movie. So women are affected by media as well.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you on being cautious. It would be nice if we all had fathers, but we all didn't.
Yeah. Like I said, the role models we had, and growing up, my wife, she'll tell you it was Jake Ryan from 16 Candles. That was her guy.
That was her guy. But I mean, and that's what it is. So I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think that there are guys who are finding the manosphere, however they find it, and they're finding the good guys are finding the good that they need to make themselves better, and those empty dudes are finding whatever bullshit they need to make themselves, into whatever they want to make themselves into. And I think you can get from it whatever it is you're looking for. I think it's good and bad. But I like it because I've seen the good. And those bad, the dudes with, even the guys who go out there, I'm gonna be a pickup artist and all this, that shit ends. That has a shelf life. You know what I mean? That shit ends. And once it ends, they wind up coming back to the manosphere, and then they're like, you know what? I got to build myself up. I got to make a change. I got to be accountable, this, that, and the third. So I think overall is a good thing. Brother Viking was saying, I don't mind rude folks. I just hold the door and then keep it moving. So yeah, like Jay Swans, Brother Michael, honor and family. I think that needs to come back. I think that needs to come back.
That right there is the most important thing. I tell both my kids all the time, whenever they're having a bad day or they slowing up, I'm like, hey, remember who you are. You respect the family, you respect the name. We don't get to have bad days over here.
Right. And you got Miss Globe Girl like, sir, I say what I mean. Grown women over here. That's right. Navy getting tough. I see Navy jumping up over there. And Miss Globe Girl's like, she's working her way up. One of these days, she's going to jump up and grace us with her presence and be able to join the panel. I look forward to that day. Brother Michael, Abundance Mindset, that gets into male dating strategy and stuff like that. When you can get into the weeds. We're coming up on 3 hours, so we're going to wrap this up. But you can get into the weeds when it comes to the manosphere. There's a lot out there. And a lot of that stuff makes sense to me. Brother Michael was talking about abundance mindset. It's talking about staying away from just chasing that one woman. You don't want to have what they call one itis. You want to get out there and you want to have different women. When I was young, I had a rotation. Did that help me? Yes, it did. Did it make me more attractive? I think so, because I kept on having more people on the rotation. I kept my game sharp. Now, as an old man, do I want to be a 52-year-old man running a rotation? Nah, man, I ain't trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that. But there are dudes who want to do it, and more power to you. You know what I mean? Brother Ness, it's all about, Brother Ness, it's all about self-respect. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Bill Cosby. Oh. You know what I mean? So yeah, final thoughts to Brother Hayoka, man. What do you have for us? I've just enjoyed the chat. I've enjoyed the chat. I had a great time. Good. We enjoyed having you too, bro. You are always welcome here, man.
Most definitely, man.
And I'm definitely going to reach out to you, man. I want to do another show. I want to talk about cybernetics and what's going on, because you were nice enough to watch my show when you were telling me.
Did you see the videos that I sent you?
Not yet. I got them. I'm about to watch them. I got them. Thank you. And I'm going to watch
Okay,
those
good.
videos. And I want to bring you back when we want to talk about that, man. So thank you so much,
sure.
bro. Thanks for coming up. I appreciate the time you spend with us, man. I really do. And let me give you a hand, man, because you hardcore right here, bro. That's for you.
Yo, man. Yo, let me clear this up. I wasn't a fan of Bill Cosby. I was a fan of Heathcliff Huxtable.
Yeah. So
got the neighbors looking at me all weird now.
yeah. So, brother Hayoka, until next time, bro. Salute to you, man. We'll talk to you soon, man. Peace.
Love, be safe.
No doubt, man.
And yeah, man. Don't try to clean that shit up now, bro. You know you down with the peel. You down with the peel?
Next thing, I already had to pull out all my R. Kelly music. Had to dump that from the playlist.
Listen, I'm sorry, man. I know that thing you sent me. It sounded like he got set up a little bit.
Yeah, it did. That's what it sounded like. Man.
So now I still listen to him. You know what I mean? Can I get that toot? Can I get that beat?
Better listen to it with the volume down low.
I don't care. You know
he's a Pied Piper.
And brother Ness, I love to hear that AM in the automation field too. Yeah. So yeah, y'all. This is it. We were talking about the Manosphere. I think it's not that bad. Jay Swans, your final thoughts on this?
I ain't got nothing, man. It was a good conversation. I mean, it's just interesting, you know. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't want my sons to dive too deep in it because I think they're better than that. But if that's what, like you said, if you find something there that helps you, hey, go for it. You know what I mean? Hey.
And here's the thing: if your sons, when they get their heart broken, they can come home and get the support that they need. They won't need to go to YouTube because they have men in their lives, men, who can help them with that situation. So, but again, there are a lot of young males out there who don't have that.
Well, don't forget, they've also been prepped with the understanding that it's gonna happen.
They know it's coming.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of young men miss. You know what I mean? They never get that talk. You know what I mean? But it can. It's gonna happen. Just be prepared for it. And, you know, how you handle that situation is one of the defining moments for a young man, I believe.
Absolutely right. So again, that's why I'm always challenging you to come away from your world to look at it through a different lens. Because
why would I want to do that, man? That shit's fucked up out there.
Yeah,
I'll stay in my little bubble.
So you can stay in my bubble. It's nice and healthy in this bubble. Y'all look like y'all struggling over there in that bubble. But yeah, man, Brother Doug, good stream. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone who was here. Miss Globe Girl, Miss AKA Lady, Brother Doug, Brother Nez, Brother Viking, Brother Michael, everybody, Brother Jason. I can't remember everybody, man. We had such a good stream. Y'all, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Share this for me, please. I put the Cash App up, but if you would share this for me, that would do wonders for me. Let's get the views up. Let's just get the rest of the way on monetization. Thank you to all my mods, man. Thank y'all so much for being there. We ain't have to do nothing crazy because everybody was contributing and everything. So thank y'all so much, man. This is fun. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all holiday. Thanks for rocking out with us, man. We're done here, man. I'm DL Saint. Over here is Jay Swans. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast, man. We'll talk to y'all later, man. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.
Yeah, turn it off.